Hey guys, welcome. My name is Wade Cox. I'm here with HO Ski's Syndicate Waterski's Vice President Dave Wengirder. This is 7th annual Syndicate Pro-Am. We're at Arlington, Washington at Hilltop Lake. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks, Wade. Excited to be here.
So, Dave, you've moved your way up through the ranks from being product manager now to vice president. So it's kind of neat to go from you were a amateur water skier beginning and you came down to ski with myself with Carl Bears. Now to actually be the host of this event is kind of something next level that maybe you never thought of, right?
Man, never in my wildest dreams. I figured we'd be making water ski tournaments, having one of the biggest water ski tournaments in the world. So really excited, and excited all our friends are here. Yourself, Marcus, Bob LaPointe, the whole Syndicate crew, and then all the athletes and all the help we've had from the Hilltop crew is just awesome. Super stoked. So
this 7th year, as you mentioned, biggest yet, biggest purse for pro men's and women's slalom in the history. And we want to thank also Miles Sand and Gravel. We want to thank Gordon and Matt Skoog. This is sort of your home away from home, right? Or your practice lake.
Oh, yeah, I'm lucky to ski here all the time and got a great group of people, and the Skoog family's been outstanding. So super thanks to them and all the sponsors.
So we sort of have a bit of a skier palooza going if you see the amount of motorhomes here. So we're going to send it to the booth now to Tony and Marcus, and we'll be back to you guys soon down here in the dock. Thanks, Dave.
Well, hello and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Hilltop Pro with Syndicate skis, and next to me right here is Marcus Brown. Say hi, hello to the good folks.
Hey guys, how's it going? Tony, good to be here. Good to be a part of it.
Absolutely, and you represent FPM, the flow point method there, providing the tools for you to ski your best. Check out flowpointmethod.com, and we'll certainly draw upon your experience and your expertise going forwards. The events that we've got coming up, we've got the women's slalom event to get things up and running, and then we'll end off with the men. We're seeing a few of our female competitors getting ready to go out there and just absolutely rip it out there on the slalom course. We see Elizabeth Montavon there as we work our way around behind the scenes. The temperature here today, absolutely balmy for the Pacific Northwest. It's in the high 80s right now, which is a quite rare for an August day here in this part of the world.
Yeah, it's a little bit unusual, but you know what's beautiful too about this is the wind. I think is ideal right now. We've got this beautiful headwind off the dock, and I think for the women you're going to see, and the men, you're going to see 41 into that headwind. And Tony, I don't want to make any predictions, but I think you're going to see some big scores today in the finals. We got a huge crowd showing up here out on the shoreline. It's sunny, smiles all around. People are catching up. We got new friends being made.
Absolutely.
And, the vibe is high right now.
And some of our athletes from yesteryear as well are also making an appearance as well. There is Jill Knutson there. They're by far the oldest competitor in this slalom event. I won't go into the specifics of how old she is, but let's just say that she's been around the pro circuit in the late 90s, early part of the 2000s. So she has plenty of experience to draw upon.
Yeah, she's been around for a long time. You know what's cool about water skiing, Tony, is there's a lot of heritage, there's a lot of history. This year is the 100-year anniversary of water skiing, 100-year anniversary, which is insane to say. And I think it's important to talk about the past, to talk about some of the historical elements. We got Bob LaPointe on shore. We've got a bunch of old skiers here on shore. They're still engaged. They're still involved because water skiing is a community. And you see here at the pro level, water skiing is a community. We got it's a lighthearted, good time here behind the scenes before the serious game faces come on.
All right, then. So with that, we'll step aside and give you a chance to grab your favorite chair and grab your favorite beverage, because in a few minutes we will start the final round of action here at the Hilltop Pro, presented by Syndicate.
My name is Brantley Hawkins. I'm one of the co-founders here at New Dimensions Wellness. My partner and I have over 20 plus years of sports medicine and exercise experience working with the most elite athletes in the world. Together we have developed a proven system that has been sought out by these professional athletes and is now available to you.
You will move your body and loosen your joints in ways that you haven't before. It's not your typical weight training, it's not CrossFit, and it's not crunch fitness.
Once I got in here, it was a big eye-opener how much different that they go about everything.
All right, then. So welcome back to continuing coverage of the 2022 Hilltop Pro, presented to you by Syndicate and by a bunch of other great sponsors and support systems going forward. But let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, welcome. It's super cool to be on the dock once again. Thanks to our sponsors, Syndicate Waterskis, to Miles Sand and Gravel, and I just can't tell you how cool it is to actually be here right in the midst of. I was actually getting out of the dock starter's way, and we got John Travers here helping Allie Garcia out, and she won a pro event just a few weeks ago, or actually just a week and a half ago. So we're sending a seasoned veteran out first, and we got Becky Lathrop there in the Nautique, and looking down the lake, it is absolutely perfect. Basically a little bit of a headwind off the dock, but 85 degrees, ideal. Can't wait. Back to you guys.
All right, then. So continuing right along, we should have our starting list coming up. And there you see our running order. We've got Ali Garcia taking to the water first. Let's go for each one of these female competitors. Ali Garcia, Marcus.
Oh, Allie's she's come on really strong this year. Like Wade just said, she won an event over in Europe. She's been an up-and-coming junior skier, and I think she just finally broke through and has her confidence. And she's standing on the dock with some of the best skiers in the world, and she's showing up, and she's getting through the 11-meter line often when she needs to. And that's what she's going to need to do here in the finals, Tony, right now. But she's got to start off with these opening passes. But her sights are on the 10.75 meter pass. She's got to get there to put the pressure on.
Okay, so it's a 13-meter start for Ali Garcia now, and let's see what she has to pull out of the proverbial hat. 13-meter start. Oh, a little bit on the back of the ski. Tends to rear up quite a bit into her onside turn, but rearing up a lot on the opening pass. All right, and after that pass, let's check in with Wade once again.
Hey guys, I'm with Elizabeth Montavon, who made your podium debut as a professional 2 years ago here at this event, but we haven't had these type of conditions, huh? This is fairly nice, right?
I mean, it's almost like a Florida day, like nice little cushy headwind off the dock. The sun's on my shoulders. Sun's out, guns out, like yesterday. It feels good.
Yeah, so that's sort of how loose it is right now, but we're going to let her get. She's going to be out there in the water soon. Back to you guys.
Why, thank you, Wade, and special thanks there to Elizabeth Montavon, who will be a third off the dock. There is Jill Knutson, our second person off the dock, and she's there because she scored a little bit more than Ali Garcia's best score out of the initial 2 rounds, and just trying to get that little bit of oxygen intake there a little bit more, otherwise called yawning.
Yeah, you know, what's cool about this scene is you just saw Allie go out, and then here you have Jill up next on deck. You guys were at the Waterski Nationals last week. Karen Truelove was there skiing in the open division. It's cool to see these veterans, and then also cool to see the juxtaposition of these up-and-coming skiers like Ali Garcia here at 12 meters.
All right, let's have a look at Ali Garcia. Let's see if she can make the necessary adjustments. Oh, yes, better, number one. Certainly in better tune with the water and the course, allowing that ski tip to actually create more of that turn rather than her rearward action on that ski, and doing a fine job there.
That was pretty clean. That was much better than 32. I think 32, she was feeling things out, working out the bugs. And that 35, she started to tighten things up. The one thing I see Allie do is she gets better usually each pass. And coming into this 38 off, like we talked about, this is the make or break pass for her coming up next.
Good extension there, and still rearing up a little bit, but I mean that's just a little bit of a quirk in her style, which she puts into those 1-3-5 side turns naturally. Just wants to get on the gun straight away and get across course, and 9 times out of 10 that's extremely effective. But just needs to be balanced on that ski thoroughly before she attempts it. And with the 6 buoy count on the pass number 2 at 35 off, let's send it over to Wade.
Hey, thanks, Tony. I'm here with Allie Nicholson, who recently took home a victory in Europe. So skied better the second round. What's going to be better about this third round today in the final?
Yeah, hoping to get a little bit more like the first round. I got 3 at 39, so hoping to get a little bit further down it, kind of hit my cues. So, yeah, just hoping to go out there, have some fun, leave it all out on the lake.
All right, we're going to see her real soon. Back to you guys.
All right you are. We've got Ali Garcia out there on the water. Now the line length is now 11.25 meters, 38 off. She struggled to get far enough down this pass.
She pulled
to
long
be in contention.
Wow.
Yeah, and unfortunately there for Ali Garcia, just wasn't quite her weekend.
That's not what she normally does, Tony. And you see as the tournament gets closer and closer to the finals, and now we're in the finals, you see skiers do things different than what they normally do. And you see right here, Allie pulls extremely long into 1. You see she's still on her cutting edge past the whitewater, and because of that, she gets too much momentum, loose line out of 1, pushes her down course at 2. She tries to get back on her line and just over-engages that tip. But it all starts with just a little bit maybe of, I would say, some nerves and a little bit out of her element on that gate shot at 38. You see here how long she pulls. That establishes
like that right there.
Yep.
Just that split second more movement there, pulling long off the second wake, and that little bit is enough.
It just shoots you on a higher line trajectory, and you can't run out your speed when you want to turn back in behind the boat. You end up with too much momentum, and you ski into slack. But again, she's a young girl. She's going to be out here for many years to come. What do you think those guys are laughing at?
I honestly don't know.
I don't know if I want to know.
Probably some of the performances from yesterday.
All right, well, that's not the way Allie wanted to open up the finals, but I know she's just stoked to be here. If you look back at the story arc of her career, it's been very short, and she's done some pretty cool stuff in a short amount of time.
All right. Okay.
Here we go. We've got second skier, veteran, local skier. Jill's out there. She's fired up. She's ready to show these youngins what she can still do.
All right, and on deck ready to go next is Elizabeth Montavon and Jill Knutson, who actually spent a considerable amount of time away from the actual competitive activity within the sport. Actually did a little bit of open water skiing, and with that, let's send it over to Wade.
Hey, thanks, Tony. I'm here with Regina Jacobs. You've been doing your normal warm-up, but the weather has warmed up. It's nice out, right?
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's sun's out, blue skies, and a little wind, so a little texture on the water out there, and it looks great. So I'm excited. I know the girls are all going to throw down, so I'm excited to see what goes on.
And we're going to see her throw down real soon. Back to you guys.
All right, so we've got Jill Knutson about to get out there on the water. And as I was about to say, I mean, she spent a lot of time away from the sport, up to 8 years. But, I mean, she was still active out there on open water with her husband driving, hand driving as a matter of fact, you know, doing it more for fitness than anything else. And then she had an epiphany. Well, if I can continue this good technique that I've spent years and years trying to perfect, maybe I can leverage that into today's competitive action, which she has so far.
Yeah, she's done a great job. She's out here, again, rubbing elbows with the best in the sport at this time in water skiing, and she's making 28 off look really easy, opening pass.
Makes it look slow, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's a great thing. You know, Regina and I we are all talking about CP yesterday, how, you know, the 35, 38 off, he makes it look like the boat's going a mile or two an hour slower. And Jill does kind of that same thing. You know, her style, her expertise, her wisdom, experience allows her to do that.
And there are certainly several ways that you can, several things that you can do to affect something like that. I don't know whether you particularly agree with a lot of my coaching philosophy in that respect.
I'm not adversarial, Tony.
You're not adversarial? I mean, I mean, one of the core aspects of that is actually realizing that you can take a fair amount of angle across the wakes and then set the angle very, very, very soon right off the second wake and allow it to like just get out and nice and wide and get a good backside turn. That's a good way of making you ski slow.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, if you can ski a higher line, more space before the buoy, you're going faster, but you feel and look slower because you're not changing directions really quick. When you head straight for the buoy and then you try to make a sharp turn, that's when you look like you're fast and out of control. And Jill does a great job of skiing that high line into the buoy.
All right, let's have a look and see. Jill Knudsen on 13 meters, bringing the handle down nice and sharp. There.
Yeah, looking good.
Just like that.
This is kind of, I don't know how many she's run, 32 offs, but she's probably run more than most of these other skiers combined, I would say. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be very, very fair to say. I mean, Jill Knudsen has been doing this for donkey's years, absolutely. I mean, from the 80s through the 90s, early part of the 2000s, and has skied plenty of championships at high level, including the World Championships, and actually tells me a story about the events surrounding the 1999 World Championships that took place in Rocchetto in Italy. And you can find out more about that story by checking in with the TWBC podcast. You can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
That's pretty cool that you're doing that. I like that. I've listened to quite a few, and you do a great job.
Oh, why, thank you. Thank you. Touche.
Hey, did you know this was a 5-star event?
Yes, I knew it was a 5-star event.
What does that mean?
That means that it is one of the highest paying events of the season. It also pays more in terms of a point as well. And so the impact of this tournament is therefore a lot greater when it comes down to the grand scheme of things with the point totals at the end of the season.
All right, 35 off. Jill Knudsen, she's going to need all of this. That's a bit of a rough one, but it's not going to phase her. She's going to relax. She's going to just get back on her line, regain body position, because that's the biggest thing. And you see she's kind of back in it by 5. And, I mean, not the prettiest one, but she knows she's going to have to clean that up for 38 coming up.
All right, so great skiing there from Jill Knudsen. Now, another thing that I really wanted to ask you, and this goes a little bit in relation to those that are starting to slalom and starting to feel their way throughout the course, as we see Jamie Ball get stretched for her turn. But normally way back in the day, when you started slalom, you're basically taught you have to go speed by speed by speed until you get to a certain point. Then you can start shortening. A lot of people are going a little bit sideways on that one, and they're starting to shorten at slower speeds and working their way up through that way using zero-based scoring. Are you someone that advocates that, getting onto the short line earlier than the max speed?
Did you go to school for broadcast?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that ruins my analogy. Well, you don't always have to, but you're really good at it, and I think it's because you're passionate about it. You have your own path. Somebody else might never go to school for broadcast and end up sitting in a seat like you. I don't think there's one right path. I think it's skier by skier based on their abilities, their skills, their strengths, their weaknesses. I think that's the best answer. I think it's great because it's opened up more opportunities for people.
Certainly.
So we've got Jill, 38 off. She needs to run all this to put the pressure on.
Mm-hmm. All right, there we go. This is 11. Ooh, and goes down round buoy number 1. And that puts her behind, actually, Ali Garcia by a single buoy.
Yep. She's not going to be happy. Anytime you fall at one ball, it's kind of a bit of a letdown. I know she wanted here kind of her home side, if you will. She wanted to get quite a bit more out of it than that. I think there's a few things that happened, but she ended up being narrow. You saw she kind of almost clipped the buoy there. And that immediately throws off your balance.
Yeah, came off the handle a little bit early and just went into the reach. And I think a lot of it is precipitated by where a handle was to start off with.
Could be. And then watch how she's back right there through that transition zone. That kills your speed, kills your outbound trajectory, and away you go.
All right, let's check in with Wade.
and we sort of have epic conditions compared to your first trip here last year, right? So yeah, all good to go?
Yes, I've been warming up here on shore, and it's a beautiful day with the sun's out, and I think everybody's ready to rip some big scores today.
Well, I see you over there hanging with your man Zane, so anyone you want to say hi to?
I think my grandparents are watching, my aunt was probably watching, and then I think everyone at McClintock Ski School is watching right now, too. I'm on the TV down at the ski school. So, hey, guys, thanks for watching.
And I'll give J-Mac a shout-out. Hey, buddy, glad you're watching. Back to you guys.
All right, so next skier on and coming to us out of West Palm Beach in Florida. This is Elizabeth Montavon. And she comes to us from a skiing family. The Montavons all the way up north in the Midwest, and they recently relocated from there to be in South Florida. So they're all together.
And she's probably one of the most dynamic skiers out there as far as kind of her strength to weight ratio. You see she's not afraid to put energy into the system, but she's also able to manage that energy often. That was a pretty nice opening pass.
All right, and one of the observations that I've made about Elizabeth Montavon skiing, and it certainly seems to be echoed a lot throughout the Instagram and Twitterverse and wherever she happens to be in the online social media world, is the fact that she rides a ski towards the back a lot more than most other skiers.
Yeah, I mean, my honest opinion, if she was able to use her front foot, she would run a lot more buoys.
Absolutely, I'm of that opinion as well, and that seems to be echoed as well in a lot of other places.
But here's the problem: as a slalom skier, you either know this intuitively or you know it outright. Changes come in twos. So as soon as she starts changing one thing by trying to feel more support through her front foot, that's going to throw off some of the other stuff that she does really well. So changes come in twos. You change one thing, you're going to have to change something else, and that becomes really hard. So it's easy to just do what you know. And it is working for her. She's here in the finals. She's had some great performances in the last couple of years. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. We got 32 off coming up.
And one as a result from last season was actually a win at the Miami Pro. So she's already won at the professional level as of last season, and she injured herself at the beginning of this season, and then as she was recovering, she re-injured herself, which means that her time out there on the water in competition has been limited at best. But you wouldn't know it, would you?
No, you wouldn't really know it. She's looking pretty dang good. The one thing you do notice about Elizabeth is she's not afraid to take it down course, Tony. She allows it to run. If the rhythm is pushing her a little bit further down course, instead of turning into loose line, she tends to wait a little longer until she feels the boat start to pull away from her, and she knows she can come back in behind the boat without slack. Kind of like Mike Morgan used to do back in the day. But,
I love Mike Morgan back in the day.
But that could catch up to her if she doesn't kind of tighten it up here, timing and rhythm-wise, at 35 and 38 off, because you start pushing too late and you can't build up that speed to get back on your line in the finals of a pro event. That's when it catches up to you.
But the thing about Mike Morgan skiing, as I rack my brain and just try and replay a set from Mike Morgan as I've watched him from the boat and on TV and what have you, is he does get on the back of the ski, but before he comes into that turn, he is almost at full extension at 32 off.
Yeah. Well, Elizabeth has her own style, her own technique. She's making it work. And I think what you're going to see is hopefully she'll tighten things up here with a little bit cleaner gait and more backside on one ball to kind of set that rhythm off right. She does use her alignment well. You see on that gate glide, she's perfectly in alignment. Pretty good one. Nice move into two. Now she's a little down course, but she's not going to panic because she knows where she's at. A little bobble into four, but she's just kind of keeping it calm. She's feeling the water out.
Look at that 5.
I know, but she's all right. She's strong. She can hang on to that.
Yeah, indeed. And she gets through that pass. That was at 35 off or 12 meters.
So going back to your comment about her being back, again, there's a lot of stuff she does right. That's why she's here in the finals, one of the best in the world with a top of the podium finish last year. However, you see her getting a little later as she goes down that 12-meter pass, and what's happening is she's not able to find her stance on the ski before center line to get the acceleration. Acceleration comes from dynamically moving your body. You're transmitting that rope load into acceleration towards center line. You have to get your body in the right position to create that effortless acceleration. If you're too far back, you're not going to get it. You're going to create load without speed, and you're going to end up further and further down course. So in the future Elizabeth, that's going to be running 39.5 off, she's going to be using her front foot more, especially from 2 hands on the handle till the first wake. She's going to be finding that front foot, generating more acceleration, and you're going to see her running 39 at some point.
And be ready to go vote for your skier of the day. Go vote for your skier of the day. waterskibroadcasting.com/play. waterskibroadcasting.com/play. And I'm sure that Elizabeth Montavon, whenever she's on a flight back to West Palm Beach, she will be playing this back on her phone ad nauseum, especially highlighting the comments that you just made there, Marcus. Here we go. This is 11 point. Oh, look at that.
She's going to be working for this.
She's working for it.
Damn.
Oh, and going down there with 2.5, but she has taken the lead in this competition with a score at 2.5 at 10.25 meters.
It's the lead, but it's not what she wanted, Tony. She really wanted to put a score out. I know she wanted to get through this pass. She didn't have a bad one, a little bit back, but watch this. As she comes into 2, she's just a little late on that rhythm. Late on the backside of 2, and she needed a big 3 here. She almost caught the tip of the rope on the ski, but she didn't.
Almost wrapped that handle underneath her left armpit coming round.
Yep. And it's going to be a unfortunate event for her, but again, in the final, she takes the lead here, skis to her seat at least, and yeah, I mean, she's had some injuries this year, so she's got to be okay with this performance today.
All right, then, and with that, let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, I'm here with Miss Paige Reaney, and so you had a couple good scores yesterday. So what's going to take to get those great score from you today?
I'm just trying to focus on running 39. It's still a really big goal of mine, so I just want to get further down that pass today and hopefully run it.
Well, we're going to see her out there really soon. She's excited, and we can't wait. Back to you guys.
All right, and now we're going to bring on an exciting young competitor who's currently in the lead in the Waterski Pro Tour standings. It is Ali Garcia, Ali Nicholson, I beg your pardon, Ali Nicholson. We have more than one Ali on there, so it gets a little confusing from time to time, so the odd Freudian slip would slip in there, but this is Ali Nicholson coming into the course.
Yeah, Ali has been coming on really strong the last couple of years. First and foremost, she is a scrapper, Tony. I don't know if you've noticed that, but she will hang on to any turn, anytime, anywhere. And obviously, she's running these first couple passes clean at 32 off, but she has a tenacity that you can't really learn. And I think that's what's gotten her to where she is today, along with her technique and the support she's had along the way.
And being light on the ski has also helped her out as well. She is one of our lighter skiers in this category, and we'll discuss a little bit more of that once we've just checked in with Wade.
Hey guys, I'm here with a really, really old friend and a legend in the local market, Eddie Roberts. How you doing, Eddie?
Oh, I'm doing so awesome, Wade. It's really cool to see this event going off, see all the crew. What's up, Whitney? How you doing? It's the biggest thing I've been watching this over the last couple of days on the broadcast you guys have been putting out. I want to give you and Marcus and all the team that's putting these productions together. You guys are absolutely knocking it out of the park, and seeing so many people tune in. I think water skiing's in a really good spot with you helping out and doing all that you do, Wade.
Well, I appreciate it, man. So I want to do this on purpose because I want to say hey to your mom. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Julia. And hi, Pam. Back to you guys, Tony. Thank you.
All right, here comes Ali Nicholson, who was medaled and ascended to the top of the podium on at least a couple of occasions this time during the Waterski Pro Tour season. And I tell you, looking in good shape there. She's actually skiing better on this pass than she did on the opener.
Yeah, and she does something similar to what Ali Garcia does, pulls a little longer than you'd like in an ideal world, but she's also able to get the ski to rotate and get the movement back in behind the boat before she generates slack. So that's one strength that she has, is she's able to ride the ski through the finish of the turn, stay balanced, stay centered, and keep the rope from going too loose. As she gets shorter, 38, 39, she's going to have to continue doing that. The ever-important handle measurement, Tony.
Yes, absolutely there. That's Jamie Ball measuring her own handle. That's the responsibility of each and every one of our skiers to make sure that their handles are within the tolerance. And, with Ali Nicholson out there on the water, skiing on a ski that she didn't ride at the very beginning of the season, because in the San Gervasio tournament she actually broke her ski and found a replacement, and then continued on to the Greek stop of the Waterski Pro Tour. So I mean, in spite of all of that happened, she's still able to maintain a consistency out there, and a good portion of the reason why she has is because she's riding on one of the best skis out there on the market.
Yeah, she's really done well on the Syndicate Pro. Obviously, we try to keep the build similar from one ski to the next, but here at 38 off, she's going to need everything she's got. She's got a decent gait, a little slow. She pulled hard to 2. Dang, you see right there. That was not the start she wanted, Tony. We'll see on the replay. She's going to be super bummed about that. Oh, man. Especially here at the home tournament. You want more. She wants more. But here on the gate, as she rolls in, she's a little back. She generates low without speed, but she's okay. She's a veteran. She knows how to turn it. Well, she got a little hitch out of 1, and she loaded really hard right there and got compressed. And that took her straight at the buoy. She needed a big turn, and she didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all she wrote.
Yeah, indeed, and that score of 1.5 puts her in a tie with Ali Garcia, who scored 1.5 on the same line length, and Elizabeth Montavon still holds the lead after the first 4 skiers in this final with 2.5 at 11.25 meters. So
you see right there, you see that tip engages, and as the tip, look at this clown, as the Brando. As the tip of the ski engages, Tony, if the tip over engages, the tail will release, and that's what you saw there from Ali.
Indeed, and looking out at the dock area, we see in the background there Paige Reaney getting ready to go next. Driver, very, very important part of the whole setup here is Becky Lathrop. And you know how important it is to have someone out there that's consistent from one pass to the next. And I mean, Becky has been doing it this way for so long, and has earned the utter and thorough respect of everyone that she drives.
Yeah, it's really important. Driving is kind of the dark horse of the sport. As a training partner or as a ski partner, it's important to be able to drive the boat as well for the folks you ski with. Obviously, it's great to train with good drivers, but it's very important to ski in a tournament with good drivers at this elite level, because these athletes are so tuned in, they can tell minute differences from one pass to the next. And if the driver's consistent, they can zero in on the moves they need to make, especially in a finals like this, and it just takes that element out of it for the athlete. They can focus on their skiing, focus on their moves, and focus on their ultimate goal.
And I mean, in the near future, or maybe into the far future, there could be an auto drive system that makes it into the market, but we'll table that discussion for another time as we wait for Paige Reaney to come into the course on her opening pass. And this is one of those modified one-handed gates.
It is. Well, what's interesting about this for me is back in the day, I used to go back to Florida in the fall, ski some of those record tournaments. I know Matt Reaney may be watching right now, probably is watching. He's got some important reasons to watch, but this guy has done a phenomenal job as a coach, and I know he sat beside you here in some of the previous broadcasts.
Indeed.
And to see his baby girl out there now, grown woman, competing, trying to run 39 in a pro event. It's pretty special for me to get to see that evolution and that story arc, because he's still doing it. He's still in the sport, giving back in so many different ways, as are his kids. And, we see his wife coming up later on. It's just cool to see that involvement. That's what the sport's all about, is that community element and that family that extended family.
And of course, Matt Reaney will take on even greater responsibility going forward with the retirement of Steve Bush as the head team coach of Team Canada going forwards. And
those are big shoes to fill.
Absolutely. I mean, Steve Bush has been at that role since the mid to latter 1970s, for crying out loud.
Yeah, a lot of years, a lot of decades doing it, and he was such a great human. Busher, and I think Matt's going to jump right into that role and do just fine because he as well is a great human, and I think that's first and foremost what it takes.
Indeed. Let's focus in on Paige Reaney. Just waiting for the boat to settle down and then work her way out. Nice attacking posture into number 1 and even more aggressive on the exit.
She's a pretty skier. We talked yesterday about 3-event skiers and kind of how it crosses over to slalom and allows for efficiency. And you see in her skiing, she has her own style, but she's very efficient. And I think that's one of the most important things as a slalom skier is trying to develop efficiency so that when you load against the boat, it directly translates into acceleration to center line. And when you watch the replay here, you'll see not only is it pretty to watch, but it's efficient.
All right, so we'll continue to rock along. Okay, so we understand that she'll be coming back into the course on the 12-meter line. Most of our other competitors at this time had started on 13 meters, but Paige exercising the option to go in on 14.25 meters. Now, how important is that in your mind there, Marcus?
As far as starting at 28 off?
Yes.
It's up to the skier. I watched the old U.S. Open from '89 at Bennett's, and Andy Mapple and Bob Lapointe both started at 22 off. And they did that in World Championships in the past and skied into 39. So it's skier choice. That's what's beautiful about the sport is you can start where you want to. And for her, she likes to go out, feel it out, get a couple passes under her belt before she gets to the 35 and the 38 line lengths. And I think that's why you see her ski so efficient.
All right, then. It's hard to imagine that the likes of Bob Lapointe and Andy Mapple would ever contemplate using the 22 off section.
Did you see that 3-ball?
Yes, I did. Absolutely. And she almost overloaded a little bit off number 5, but I tell you what, she has such control and such poise out there.
I think sometimes if you're not almost pushing the envelope at 32, 35, you're not preparing yourself for the next couple passes. I think you have to kind of find that limit on both the easy side and the hard side. And as you watch, she has probably one of the best onsides of any of the women in the world right now. And part of it is what she's doing into center line and then outbound right here. But also the move at the finish where she gets a little bit of the tip of the ski out of the way rather. It allows her to scrub speed and change direction at the same time. She does it here again at 5. And it just keeps the rope perfectly tight. The boat picks her up, pulls her back over her front foot, and she's off to acceleration. Pretty amazing to watch.
Right, you are. So there we go. That was Paige Reaney. The one thing that I absolutely love about her technique is the fact that she is just so cool, calm, and collected right at the end of the turn. She just whips the ski round and then just brings the outside hip and just goes and just brings it all the way
drops
it in, and then uses that as a slingshot to get the ski outside on 2, 4, and 6.
Well, here we go. 38 off. She knows that the lead is 2.5 right now, and she wants to run all this, obviously. Something's going on today. She's got a slow one. She's going to need a big 2. She's got an okay 2. She's going to need a big 3. She got it.
She's got the 3.
Let's see what happens. She's got 4.
Oh, look at this.
She needs a big 5.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
And collapses on buoy number 5, but it is enough for the lead with 3 more competitors to go.
Wow. That's not, again, what she wanted, but she did take the lead by 2 buoys just now. And I know she's got to be kind of semi-okay with that. But again, here, out of 1, you see her get high-sided. So she lost her direction. The boat had her for a moment. It takes time. She needed a big 2. She got a decent 2. Coming into 3, same thing, but she was able to keep to the inside of that turning arc, tighten up the rope, And out of 4, I thought she was okay. She came into 5, Tony. She just needed to do the same thing. She was a little narrow, but she just got a little too far back there. And when the rope came tight, she wasn't willing to take that load. And that's the end of her ride in the finals.
Indeed.
You know what I think's happening? Sometimes this happens, guys and girls, but nobody's run 38 yet.
No.
And we've had some great skiers come out. Allie Garcia, Elizabeth, Allie Nicholson, even Jill. All these girls are capable of it. And so I think it's a case where that 38 pass hasn't been breached yet, so it just makes it a little harder for these girls to get through that. But I think Whit's going to open it up here for the rest of the girls.
All right, then. And with that, let's check in with Wade.
No, they win.
All right, then. As we get back into the action, we're going to see Whitney McClintock-Reaney looking in good shape off buoy number 1 now.
One of the best skiers of all time for women's slalom.
Absolutely. 9-time world champion in various events, whether it be tricks, whether it be overall slalom or the team competition for Canada. That is Whitney McClintock-Reaney. All right, let's check in with Wade.
We're a little surprised at this point. We thought the scores would be a little bit higher. We've got Paige Reaney in the lead with the 4.5 at 11 meters, but we've got 3 big guns left, and so I'm thinking one of them will have to put up a big score. So anyway, it's always a little concerning when you're left on the dock and you haven't seen that big score put out yet, but like I said, we've got 3 big ones coming up, so hopefully we're going to see it. Back to you guys.
Yeah, a little disconcerting at the moment that none of our previous skiers at this time had run 11.25 meters. But I suspect that could well change in a very drastic way with our final 3 competitors, including Whitney McClintock, is on the water right now. We see our current world champion Jamie Bull and former world champion not too far away Regina Jaques eyeing up 11.25 meters to ascend on to the top 3.
Yeah, Tony, you do see this in a lot of sports. You know, they say water skiing's an individual sport, but it's very much a community sport in a situation like this where we're at Whitney McClintock, the top 3 here in this women's slalom final. Nobody's run 38 yet. So these girls and guys do pack together based on what the previous skiers have done. But then when you get to the greats, like these top 3, they usually end up skiing to their ability level no matter what's happened before. So again, 35 off, you see her kind of no problem at all. That's why she's able to start at 32 off, because anything longer would just be too much rope.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, she is absolutely money on that pass from start to finish. I mean, her technique, including, what would you say that would that be a modified one-handed gait, or would that be full on?
Let's say modified, 3/4 modified. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, again, but you know, Reaney and I've had in the past, we've had some serious, in-depth technical conversations, and I know we line up on a lot of stuff. And it's, you know, I think he sees value in it. You see both Paige and Whit out there doing some form of one-handed gait, especially both left foot forward skiers. I know my brother was a left foot forward skier, and he loved the one-handed gait. So that's why you see that thing out there. They see value in it.
All right, then I have an opinion on that, but let's check in with Wade.
Hey, guys, I'm here with Elizabeth Montavon. And, hey, I know the weekend didn't go the way you wanted, but what are you going to take away from the weekend?
Well, you know, I was pleased with how I skied in the first 2 rounds, and I know I'm a better skier than, you know, that last round. I just didn't get my rhythm dialed in soon enough, and you can't reset a rhythm at 38. That's just too late in the game. So, you know, going to go back and work on the proximity to the hands and, you know, that length with the body, and because those are just fundamental to my rhythm at least, and dial it back in for next weekend.
All right. We're going to see you at Cali Pro-Am next weekend. Back to you guys.
All right, then continuing right along, we've got Whitney McClintock-Reaney.
Nobody's run this yet.
Nope.
Not in the finals.
Closest we've gotten is 4.5, and with Paige Reaney.
She's not taking it easy. You saw that 4 ball. She's attacking. And that's what it takes. That's why she's one of the best in the world, because she attacked when nobody else was able to pull it off yet, and she just ran a clean 11.25.
Fantastic effort there, and has taken the lead, as a matter of fact, with that 6 buoy can at 11.25 meters. Now we should be able to take a look at the instant replay with this, with that one-handed gate shot, which you, Marcus, certainly fully advocate, along with Matt Reaney. For my part, I do see value in it. I do see value in actually getting that kind of rhythm outside the course to replicate what you do on that side. But in certain situations where the water is less than perfect, if it's rolly or anything like that, you know, it could expose you.
It could expose you for sure, but then again, you're going to expose yourself. That's a terrible word. You're going to be hanging it out 6 other times once you get through the entry gates, so you might as well give it one practice turn at 0 ball while you can, where there's no pressure, no buoys, no anything.
All right, then. Okay, certainly some differing opinions there between myself and Marcus. I mean, and if you are involved in that live chat, you can weigh in as well. If you're not involved with the live chat and you want to get involved, then hit that subscribe button at the TWBC YouTube channel. Click to subscribe and be part of the conversation. All right, then. So here we go. This is Whitney McClintock-Reaney. This is our first look at 10.75 meters in this women's final.
She got to start.
Oh, yes, she did. Oh, look at that. Round buoy number 2.
Uh-oh,
here
she's
she
a little
goes.
slow.
A little slow off number 3 and 4.
Big
She's
five.
going to big 5. She gets it. And she gets the pad. Oh, no, almost gets the pad. Oh, my word.
That's crazy, because that 6 ball's been a bane for a lot of people yesterday, and again, we thought she had that. She was in of it, she was out of it, then she was back in it again at 5, and then just couldn't manage that slack and body position out the exit gates.
Man alive. I mean, she did everything that was necessary to run that pad. Even on a couple of instances where she got deep, she was still able to recover and still keep moving forwards.
Yep, grade 1, grade 2. She was looking really good at 3, and she got a little back, lost the rope for a second, so she had to play catch up right here. And as she comes out of 4, she knows she's going to need a big onside here at 5, and she got it. It wasn't perfect, but she got it. And as she came around 6, it was just a matter of, okay, managing that slack. And because of the way she ate the speed up right there, I think she got a little off balance and wasn't able to absorb that slack hit from the boat.
All right, so it looks like 6 no continuation. So the 6 buoys was there for Whitney McClintock-Reaney. Unfortunately unable to get onto 10.25 meters, but she does have the lead and assures herself a spot on the top 3 podium. All right, coming to us out of Canada, North Bay in Canada, in Ontario. This is Jamie Ball.
Yep, this is obviously current world champion, and I know she enjoys skiing up here at Hilltop. I think the water conditions, water temperature is conducive to the kind of similar to that North Bay vibe where she grew up skiing.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe 32 start, 13 meters, and Jamie's had a little bit different year this year. She did the European tour. She took a little time off, went back home, and she's just getting her footing again. So it's interesting to see, how this final is going to shake out for her.
And she competed in the World Games as well, was the women's slalom representative for Canada. And that competition over at Oak Mountain Park in Birmingham in Alabama.
Looking pretty solid here in her opening pass.
Absolutely. Good solid effort there.
Strong skier.
Oh, absolutely.
One of the things. Sorry, go ahead.
And I mean, you do have to be strong in this event. I mean, finesse will only take you so far, isn't that right?
Yeah, finesse is a key element, which usually translates to efficiency. But one of the things I was going to say about sports in general is there's a difference, in my opinion, fundamental difference between sliding sports where you slide, hockey, skateboarding, snow skiing, snowboarding, water skiing, surfing,
skeleton,
and I don't know about head first down the luge track. But that was sliding sports on your feet, and sports where your feet are planted, like football, basketball, baseball,
Imagine me rolling up with my
there's
dog
a
and
fundamental difference. And when you see somebody like Jamie Bull, who's a phenomenal snow skier, grew up snow skiing, playing hockey, there's much better translation to the fundamental movements that she's learned to do since she could walk to water skiing. And I do think there's some element of crossover between sliding sports, no matter whether it's snow, water, ice, what have you.
And she's actually a halfway decent basketball player. At least she proved that during the practice sessions over at ITS, Jack Travis's place, prior to the Visit Lake County IWWF World Championships.
Yeah, she's a well-rounded athlete. And you can see that here on the water. 35 off, 12-meter pass. Should be another warm-up for Jamie Bull.
All right, here we go.
She's one of the best in the world on this offside, Tony. Usually always keeps the rope tight through the backside of the turn. Sometimes she gets high side a little bit, but at 35, she knows that that's kind of her safety turn to feel things out. And, yeah, it was a clean pass.
All right, let's check in with Wade.
Didn't go as planned, but tell us about your little funky fall and what happened to you.
No, it was just weird. I got stuck upside down under the water, so I was trying to swim and I was never surfacing. So when I finally came up, I was like big gasp of air. But no, weird fall, a little bum for the weekend. Definitely got some things to work on this week, but I've had a good summer so far, so I really can't complain. But yeah, definitely wanted more this weekend. So hoping to be back on it for next week.
Where are you going to practice this week?
I am going to Sacramento and kind of bouncing around down there.
Good luck. Have fun. Back to you guys.
All right there, and fantastic skiing there from Jamie Bull. And one thing that really strikes me about her technique more than anything else is she kind of has that double pump coming into the turn. She stretches, starts to stretch, stops, and then goes back in. And that second one, the ski pivots round, and then she's off to the races.
Yeah, well, there's two things about that. Number one, you don't need your ski to be full width. Your ski doesn't need to be full width until you get to the buoy, right, Tony?
Correct.
And then the second thing is it's weight transfer at the finish of the turn to create the rotation you need.
All right, then. So needing to run this pass to make it onto the top three podium. This is Jamie. Oh, taking a big old hit there, shoulders back on number 2. She is a right foot forward skier, which means a 2-4-6 side turn is going to be a lot better than a 1-3. And she runs that pass, our second person to run 11.25 meters off 38 off.
Yeah, and she just overtook Paige on that one. So Paige now is on the bubble for a podium spot with one skier left, sitting in third. But that was a pretty good pass for Jamie. I know there's a couple little moments in there you see on the replay. This one ball was not quite her favorite turn, but it's okay. She stayed calm. It's 38 off. She's done this plenty of times. And, yeah, it's crazy the rotation she can get when she really needs it. And that's one of the other things we didn't talk about. But one of the things that separates some of the best skiers from the rest is their ability to have a move when they need to make up time. And I don't advocate for that. I don't advocate for a huge turn. But if you need to get back on the line, like that was a big 5-ball. You saw
her head pop back. That one.
But if you need to get back on the line, it's important to have that move. Some skiers have that move, other skiers don't. Jamie Bull has that move when she needs it to get back on track, back on the line she needs, and in the right body position.
Yes, and I mean, made especially amazing on number 5, considering that was her offside turn as well. I mean, she rides a right foot forward. So that number 5 was on her offside, and she was able to make up some ground.
Some people, their offside is actually a better turn, and for Jamie, often her 135 is better. I've gotten to work with her over the last couple of years with the method, and you'll see her at 39. If she gets a decent gait in 1, she could be on her way, and she knows what she's got to do. She's got to run this whole pass.
Ooh,
that's a big 1. She's going to need a big 2.
You stop on number 1.
She got a 2. She's going to need this at 3. She did not get the 3 she needs. It's going to be catch up, and you see her narrow, barely making it around 4. Gets back for a full 4. She's not going to be super stoked on that, Tony, but she also, that's a full 4 at 39.
And that therefore means that we're going to have a brand new women's slalom champion here at Hilltop. Jamie Bull has been the champion for the last 2 occasions right now. So things could well be changing at the top.
You see right here, at the end of the turn, she dropped her shoulder to the inside, got a huge rotation. Then she pulled long into 2, had extra speed, had to kill it by dropping in hard, kind of got pulled out before the wakes into 3. And then at 3, she got high-sided right there. The ski kind of rotated on her. She wasn't ready, and she didn't have enough momentum to stay on line. Had to squeak in for 4 and a full buoy. And again, not a bad showing, but obviously a little bit short of where she wanted to be.
All right, then that at least puts her on the podium. Now, whether she will finish in either a second or third at this time will be determined by our final skier, who's about to take to the water in just a few minutes. But just take a look at this instant replay. Just got really down course off the first half of the pass, and just couldn't really make an effective play on number 4 to make up the lost time. But
no, really,
she does get 4 though. With
that start, that was a pretty good score to come away with a full 4. And we got one skier left, Regina, and she's sitting in 5th. Is that what I saw in the tour standings? So yeah. She's got some. She hasn't skied all the events. She's got some points to make up. Even if she wins this event, because she hasn't skied that many events this year, she still may not climb the ranks that much in the tour standings. So she's going to be hungry. She knows what she can do. She's still, 14, 15 months out of an ACL replacement. So she's hungry here, top seed. She knows what she's got to do. She's got to get around 1:41 off to take the win.
All right, and heavily indebted to the services of Dr. Lyle Kane, who performed that surgery out of the Andrews physiotherapy location in Birmingham in Alabama. And with that, let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, I'm here with quite a disappointed Jamie Bull, 2-time defending champion coming in here. So a lot of pressure, but you are one of the greats now. And right now, worst case, you can finish as 3rd. So I look at that and go, man, if you have a bad weekend and finish 3rd, that ain't so bad, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm always happy with a podium. Definitely was looking for a little bit more. Felt pretty solid that set. Definitely had a little bit more of the intensity I was looking for at 38, and then got to 39 and tried to kind of keep it because I overskied 38 and just got way too much out of 1. And then just kind of was got quite a bit out of 2 because I had so much speed. And yeah, tough go, but it's okay.
We'll see you in the water next weekend.
Yep, I'll be in California, so heading down there Monday, and we'll be back at it.
Right on. Well, we'll see her back out there next weekend. Back to you guys.
Yeah, that's not what she wanted. Unfortunate finish there for Jamie. But also, Tony, we talked yesterday with Regina, who's on the water now, about having other things in life and having balance. And Jamie did just graduate. She's got an engineering degree, and she's got a long career ahead of her, whether it's on the water or it's otherwise. So that balance may help her serve her well in the coming years on the water.
All right, let's have a look and see what we've got here from Regina Jaquist. And if we're talking about skiing and life balance, you're looking at one of the best in the business right here.
Indeed. Yeah, she's got a career that she's fully invested in and passionate about. And she's also probably the greatest of all time on the water. And you see why. That 12-meter pass, once you watch this replay, it's pretty much a slalom clinic right in front of your eyes, because there's really no false move here at all, right from the get-go. Balanced on the ski. I know she's had a little bit of trouble with that ACL repair with her front knee, trying to refine her position on the ski, Tony. And I know that, to me, it looks like she's starting to become her old self again, whether she knows it or not, trusting that front knee into the pre-turn there, keeping the ski engaged, and having to move to make it the backside of the buoy to keep the rope tight.
All right, and as you mentioned right off the bat, several months off ACL or replacement surgery, and still continuing to find her feet. But I mean, it's just remarkable that she was able to compete in the World Championships last season, just barely months after injuring that knee last May, prior to the US Masters. And it's really a testament to how far medicine has actually advanced in terms of being able to provide athletes with effective rehabilitation just 5 months after what could only be described as a catastrophic injury for the most part.
So this is 38, Tony. She needs to run this. And we saw last week in the America's Cup, she actually did not run 38 for the first time I'd ever seen that. And again, no problem here, 38 off. As you said, she's overcome a lot of hurdles. And I think, to your point, skiing 4 months after the surgery at Worlds last year is a testament to her. He's with there. It's a testament to Regina's passion. So here you see this replay, 38 off. Really aligned through the gates there. Rides her ski well through the finish of the turn. And on her 2-4, see that tip stays out of the water. I know there's a lot of controversy about that, but she's the best in the business on her onside as far as the right amount of weight distribution to keep the ski out of the way enough to have it rotate, scrub speed, and keep the rope tight on the backside of the buoy. Obviously, it's a higher level move. She's the highest level you get, and she's able to do it better than almost anybody else in the world.
All right, and what intrigues me about Regina Jaquez so far as the slalom is concerned is where her eyes actually shift. I mean, she goes through the gates, totally eyes up number one, barrels down on it, and as soon as she knows that ski is going to come round and affect a good turn, she reasserts her vision and goes right ahead on number two.
I know where her eyes are now. They're on one ball at 41 off, but first she's got to run this pass to have a chance to win and take the title.
All
so
right,
here we go.
Let's see what she's got. She's on 10.75 meters. Whitney McClintock is in the lead with a 6 buoy count on this with no continuation. Here she is on number 3. She's good to go on number 4. A little bit down course. She's round number 5. Can she make it round buoy number 6? And there you go. Exit gate continues on from 6 at 10.75 meters.
But you notice she hasn't celebrated yet. You know why?
No.
You know why?
Because she knows that she's got to take a piece of the next pass in order to take the victory. She's on 6 at 10.75 meters. She is currently tied with the lead with Whitney McClintock-Reaney.
Watch this pass. It was actually quite good until 4. You see ski rotated pretty sharp at 1. Early at 2, signature Regina 2 ball. She comes into 3, and I can't really see what happened here, but she came out of it pretty clean. And as she rounded 4, she got high-sided a little bit, had some loose line. You can't see it behind the spray, but she was then behind the 8 ball here at 5. You can see she got the ski all the way in the water at 5. Pulled almost all the way to 6, got a piece of it. She did not fall in that hole like she did yesterday at 6.
Absolutely not. And she took the ping from the boat. All right then, now for the win. She's got to get more than, well,
she's got to get a quarter.
She's got to get a quarter, yeah.
Oh, she's got to get through the entry gates.
Through the entry gates, and let's see if she can get a little further than a quarter, but she's round, she takes the win and pings the handle. And ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the 2022 Hilltop Pro, presented by Syndicate in the women's slalom competition, Regina Jaquez.
Wow, that's really good skiing, Tony. I think you see the smile on her face. She's probably in a little disbelief still, just a little over a year out. See that gate? She wasn't trying to run this pass. She was just trying to get around 1. And take the win for sure. And she did. That was a pretty incredible performance. That was a battle at 39. And you see this last replay here, leading the ski to get that speed, to get outside 1, and that's all she needed. And it looks like we've got Wade and Whitney over here on the shoreline.
So, guys, I'm here with a super excited Whitney, but then a super disappointed Whitney. She went 3rd last year, 2nd this year. So next year's going to be it, right?
Yes, next year I'm definitely coming back. I'm going to book my ticket, and I'll be here, and I will stand on top of that podium.
So sort of buoy at the 10.7 do you wish you had back?
For every round this weekend. Normally my offside is super natural for me, so I don't really have to think over there. We've been working a lot on my 135 to make sure that my ski's coming through and staying down. But I think it's putting me in a different place there at 2 and 4. And so I'm just kind of waiting with my upper body instead of really attacking with my lower body through the finish. So I had a little bit of slack at the finish of 4-ball every round this weekend, and that's what I'm going to work on this week for next weekend.
All right, well, she's taking it like a true champ, and you guys will see you on the water next week. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
No, well done.
Well, what a fantastic words there from Whitney McClintock-Reaney, and yep, you heard it first. She's going to come back, and she is looking for that win next season. And let's have a look at the women's slalom leaderboard. Regina Jaquist, your winner, with half at 10.25 meters. Whitney McClintock-Reaney there with 6 at 10.75. Jamie Ball with a 4 at 10.75. Paige Reaney in 4th place with 4.5 at 11.25 meters. Elizabeth Montemont with 2.5. And let's have a look at the Pro Tour standings. Ali Nicholson still up there with 250 points. Jamie Bull has improved upon her points to be within a skosh there of Ali Nicholson on 216. Ali Garcia there with 182. Beatrizia Yanni with a 135. And Regina Jake was back in the reckoning on 130 points. So let's check in with Wade.
So I'm here with the champ, and we talked about it first thing yesterday morning. It was your first trip out, and maybe one of the only tournaments that you don't have the title. Well, you have it now.
Yeah, it feels great. This site's awesome, and you can feel the whole, everybody that's part of the ski club. It's just awesome to see everybody working together and making such a great experience. They do a pro-am here, so it's just cool to be able to ski with all the other people as well as the pros. So it feels great to be out here, and yeah, I mean, it wasn't the 41 that I wanted, but in your head you get mental and you say, okay, just make sure you get through the gates and get around 1-ball. So happy to take the win. It feels great, especially from last year when I was at home, eating popcorn. So feels great to be here and take the win.
So let's talk about the past before the 41, though. So Whitney puts down 6, and I always like that in a way better than if they would have run 4.5 or 5.5. But when you're sitting on the end down there, you still got to do it. It can be ugly, but we need 6, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I kind of knew coming in after yesterday the girls were going to probably run 39, at least get to 4 or 5. Because they did it yesterday. This is the 3rd time around. I kind of had the expectation to run through 39, and that was what it was going to take. So, yeah, exactly. Sometimes when it's 2 or 3, you tend to make the mistakes. When you know you have to run it, it's, okay, like, game on. You're sitting down at that end of the lake, and you're like, I got to get through this to even stand a chance. So, yeah, I love having the pressure. We've really been able to put the pressure on each other and evolve in the sport and take the sport up to another level. But, it's also great to be here on the dock with Jill Knudsen. She was one of my idols when I was 13, 14 years old, doing the pro tours and the Women of Water Sports and going to all the different tournament spots. So awesome to see her out here competing and being on the dock with her now, too. So that was a really unique experience for me.
Well, we're going to let her go and celebrate, probably call your mom and dad, right?
Oh, they're watching.
Yeah. And then
happy hour.
And then we're going to see her on the podium here later. Back to you guys.
All right, then. So congratulations there to Regina Jaquist on taking the win there, and she's absolutely stoked there, Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to guess before today how it was going to shake out, you may not be surprised. This is kind of how you could have guessed it was going to shake out, but we didn't expect the lower scores at the beginning of this final. So to see these top 3 girls come out and get into 39.5 off and to see two of them run it, those are big scores. And we got beautiful conditions. So the guys coming up, can't wait to see what happens.
All right, and that's going to be our next event. The 2022 Hilltop Pro presented by Syndicate will continue on with the men's competition right after these.
What if I told you there was a place where the sounds of nature are only broken by the roar of a boat? A place where that summer feeling lasts all year long. A place where the Florida sun is only outshined by the smiles of the skiers. A place where first-time skiers can ski alongside world champions, and the world-class coaches work with all levels of skiers. What if I told you there was a place where life slows down, and your only job is to make lifelong memories? That place is Swiss Waterski Resort. Book your trip at SwissWaterskiResort.com.
Hey guys, we're about 2-3 minutes away from the start of the men's final, and it's always sort of the calm before the storm. But talk about calm. I mean, the water's perfect, 85 degrees, slight little head tailwind. Hey, I'm standing by the Waterski Pro Tour banner. I'll be doing a Instagram live recapping this event tomorrow. So check my Instagram page or Waterski Pro Tours later today, and you'll see exactly when we're going to be doing the recap show tomorrow. So, yeah, can't wait. Going to see Stevie Allen out here really soon in his first pro final. So, yeah, it's exciting. Back to you guys.
All right, then. Thanks a lot, Wade. And we'll continue to move right along with our men's slalom event. They see Alex King, our boat driver for the men's competition, at the helm of that Nautic towboat. And in addition to that, from what you've just heard from Wade, there is going to be another episode of the TWBC podcast drop in a little bit later on this evening, featuring the Dave Wingirder, and we'll listen on the insights that he gave. But let's check in with Wade once more.
Hey guys, I'm here with Mr. Stevie Allen, who yesterday PB'd his way into his first pro final. Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool, I would say. Thanks, Wade. No, I'm super psyched to be here. First pro final, ready to throw it down out there. And we can't forget, we got to give a shout out to Princeton Lakes, South Central Region. Got to represent, right, Wade?
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Go Texas, right?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right, so he's loose and ready to go. We'll get back to you guys. We're going to see him in the water real soon.
All right, and joining me back here at the announcing point is Marcus Brown. How you doing?
Doing good. I just had a weird moment. Stevie out here, first pro event, first final, and he's talking about Princeton Lakes. I was there 13, 14 years ago coaching at his dad's lake, And little Stevie was out there too. So it's pretty cool to see him now. First final ever. 3:38 off or 3:41 off.
I was actually down there a few years myself at a junior development event. But aside from that, let's have a look at the list. Dane Meckler will take to water first. Stevie Island. Then we've got Stephen Nephew, Robert Hayeswood, Cole McCormick, Nate Smith, Freddie Winter, and Will Washer. Those are the 8 competitors through to the slalom final.
Hey, you're not falling asleep, are you?
No, of course not.
All right, let's go. This is the men's finals at the Syndicate Hilltop Pro-Am.
Well,
let's get fired up.
Yeah, I am fired up.
Okay. 7th edition, 7th year running.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And look at the shoreline. I don't know if you see the shoreline, but people are vibing. The sun's out. We got a perfect head tailwind. Folks are coming. This is the birthplace of compression molded skis.
Right here.
Yeah, this zone with back in the day, all the way up until now. This is where ski building started, the real ski building. So it's pretty cool to see it back. 100th year anniversary this year, and we've got Dane kicking off this top 8 men's slalom final.
Most certainly, and Dane Meckler, who definitely opened up a few eyes to his abilities out there on the water last season, where he made it through to the men's slalom final in dramatic fashion at the Visit Lake County, Florida IWWF World Waterski Championships. He made the 41 off pass en route to making it through to those finals. And
he made it look like 39.
Indeed. I mean, he had the start, and he just continued his rhythm on, and just absolutely crushed it.
Okay, Alex.
All right, here we go. Opening pass. Again, for these guys, 13 meters, I'm assuming. This is just kind of a warm-up. You're trying to feel out the day, the conditions of the day. As skiers, if you're a skier, you know things can feel different from one day to the next. So that's why these guys give themselves a couple of passes to figure out how they're feeling, how the driving's feeling, how the lake's feeling, so they can be sharp when they get to 39.41.
Right you are. Here we go. This is Dane Meckler.
Again, very easy to see out of the buoy right there and into that first whitewater zone, leading his feet with his mass and stacked perfectly. Body in full alignment, athletic stance on the ski. It doesn't get any better than that, Tony.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, previous schools of thought have always suggested that the one thing you should try and do behind the boat is to try and keep your feet a little bit in front of you. But now, these days, with the slalom techniques, it's perfectly fine to stand directly over the top of your feet and maybe have them a little bit further back in some instances.
Up until center line, you can have your feet behind the rope. That's how you get efficient acceleration. At center line, you most likely want to have your feet directly between you and the boat. And on the way outbound, anytime you're decelerating in the real world, your feet are going to be in front of you no matter what you do, but you want to limit the amount that your feet move in front of you from center line out to apex, because you're going to have to catch back up to him to ride that front foot out to apex anyway.
And adapting to that kind of technique can be a little bit of a scary feeling. I mean, surely.
For sure. But if you once you get a taste of it, I'm a big feel person. So once you get a taste of a better feeling, and once you understand why it feels better, then you have the ability to the confidence to reproduce it without having a chance of doing something bad like going out the front. But you just got to understand it. And Dane is one of the best in the world. He's one of the best to watch. You'll see here at this 35 gauge shot how he's moving ahead of his feet up until that first wake or that first trough. He's always advancing and generating effortless acceleration with the least amount of load. It's all about that acceleration to load ratio. High acceleration, low load, that's the name of the game.
Dane Meckler's path to glory in terms of slalom skiing has taken a while, but he's certainly reaping the benefits. Let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, here with Stephen Naveau, and you've been up here a few times, and so great weather for the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, no kidding. I was here last year, and it was obviously a little different, and brought the sunblock this year, but I definitely should have brought it. But it's a nice day for finals.
Yeah. No, well, I know you were feeling good yesterday. Probably going to do a little better today, right?
That's the plan. Just take it one pass at a time, one buoy at a time, but that's the plan, yeah.
All right, well, we're going to see him out there next. Back to you guys.
All right, then on top of what was said there, his weekend got a whole lot better because he got engaged, as a matter of fact.
That's pretty cool. That's crazy.
Yep, indeed.
Good for him. Right here. Yeah, what a cool story. What a great guy, great skier, and that's cool to see the next chapter.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to seeing that progress as we continue right along with our skier on the water. We've got Dane Meckler now. He's gone through the opening couple of passes, 32 and 35. This is now 38.
Again, you're going to see tight line out of the buoy, instantly dynamically moving his body ahead of his feet right there. The ski catches up, comes through. A little high-sided out of 4, not a big deal at 38. He's going to not want to do that at 39, though. So he's just working out the bugs, finding the limits, the high side and the low side limits. And then you see there the ever-important pull-out to drop, Tony. Finding your balance point, practicing your pull-outs at the end of the lake is one of the best things you can do as a skier. And Dane, he's one of the best at it. See on this replay, beautiful 2-ball, aligned, rides the line out to apex, moves the ski through enough to keep the rope tight. And then here at 4, you see just a little bit of a high side. The ski kind of rotated on him before he was ready for it, but he's back in it from 5 to 6, no big deal.
All right, and we'll continue right along. Now, Marcus, I mean, we're seeing a lot of skiing out there on the course and what have you, but there are a lot of people that advocate for a little bit of open water skiing at slower speed.
Most definitely.
On a shorter, wider product, and this is an instance where using something like the HO Ski's hovercraft would come into play.
Well, the hovercraft is more a participation ski. You can use it. Its top speed is probably 22 miles an hour. The best ski is that's the Omni, the Syndicate or the HO Omni, because you get a little more support. You can ski at 30, 32 miles an hour and get some feelings that you need for short line, top speed skiing. Here we go. This is 39.5 off. First skier in this men's slalom final. He's going to want to put out a big score, which means he wants a start, and he's got to start.
He certainly does. 39.5 off.
Slow out of 2. Got his 3-ball, though. Acceleration out of 4. He's looking pretty good. Not as clean as yesterday, but clean enough. Doesn't matter what it looks like, and that looked pretty dang good anyway. All 6, wow. 39.5 off.
So Dane Meckler chasing down his first pro podium, and I mean he's doing pretty darn good so far, making that 39.5 off pass look like 35.
Yeah, he definitely made that pass look much easier than it ever is for most of us. And again, alignment, perfect alignment with his body, his arms connected to his body. Rotates the ski, aligned. You see him come into 2. Perfect reach, feeds the handle out. A little bit on the back foot, but again, his 135 is so money that he rotates, gets the rope, has time to accelerate. It's that time under tension. Can you get the rope tight there and you have more space to accelerate? You don't need to pull as long. And he's one of the best in the world at doing that very thing.
And the 2 parts of his body that seem to move the most are his knees and ankles, very much. Everything else seems to be in perfect alignment from start to finish.
That's a good point. One thing that's important to notice, though, is the relation of the feet or the ski to the mass, to your body. And by using his knees and ankles very well, he's able to manipulate where his ski is relative to his body at the right time. And he's going to need that here at 41. 2.5 was his best score this weekend. If he gets to start a gate to 1, Tony, I see him going down the rope here, and I'm going to call 4 or 5 if he gets to start. That was a weird gate, though. I don't know. He's going to need a big 2 here. He didn't get it. He's going to get 3 at the most.
And 2.5 ultimately.
Wow. He's pleasantly okay with it. He's not stoked, but 2.5 is a big score. That ties his top score of the weekend. And first skier in the finals, it's hard to chase it when you don't know what the scores are going to be.
All right, some decent skiing there from Dane Meckler. Not ultimately what he was looking for on the high side of the of his potential performance range, but 2.5 at 41 off. Certainly a credit-worthy score in any circumstance.
For sure, and again, the level of performance is so high these days that he's bummed with 2.5 at 41 off. And you see here on the gate, it was a little little bit of a hitch through that second wake. I don't really know what happened, but it got him narrow and direct at 1. He had to try to make up time, and he needed a 2 that was cleaner than that. He didn't get the rotation to keep his body moving to the inside, and he was all it could do to get around 3. Again, tough to be the first skier to go out and set the pace, but again, he did it really well, and he's going to be hungry. I know he's hungry, but he's got to be happy about that score as well.
All right, then, our first skier on the leaderboard with 2.5 at 10.25 meters, or 41 off. That is Dane Meckler.
One of the coolest things about this sport, Tony, is you see him coming out of the water right there, and we got the crowd. We've got people from all over the local region, and probably from outside the region, coming to support these skiers, support the sport, support this tournament, this industry, and you get that proximity. You get that close proximity. There's no barrier from the pros to the amateurs at an event like this, and that's why the Hilltop Pro-Am is so special, because you get to come and watch the best in the world in a 100-year-old sport that's got a lot of history and a lot of heritage. It's a pretty unique event we have going here.
And, of course, on top of the multitudes of people that are watching right now on the TWBC webcast, and those good folks right now are looking at Stephen Island about to take to the water in his first pro final.
This is pretty cool to see because, like you said, first pro final. Stevie's been coming on strong, been gaining every year. And yesterday, we had a situation. You see CP right there talking to Dane. Chris Parrish, one of the veterans, 2 at 41 off twice yesterday, Tony. Just back-to-back 2 at 41 offs. He's a 43-year-old skier. He should be going 34 miles an hour. And that still wasn't good enough to make the finals because the likes of Stevie Island coming out after an unfortunate first round, ran 3 at 41 off, landed himself a spot in the finals. And here he is, his golden moment to go out and let it all hang out. He can't hold back. He's got to go for it from the first pass and find that rhythm and find his flow.
Because he knows that the remaining 6 skiers are all very capable of getting at least a good portion of the way down 10.25 meters or 41 off. So, well, let's see what he's got. Originally out of the Princeton area of Texas, and now living in West Palm Beach these days. This is Stephen Island.
Strong skier, 32 off. He's one of the taller skiers. You'll see it looks pretty slow in these first couple passes because he's just on the right spot on the ski most of the time. And as we know, body position is everything. The right body position and the right body placement makes or breaks the whole event.
Absolutely. Let's check in with Wade.
Hey, thanks, Tony. I'm here with Cole McCormick getting ready for finals. So 4:41 yesterday. So any changes? So maybe going to push over that threshold in the new PB?
I need a better gate than yesterday. The gate was okay, but it could definitely be better. I was running out of speed by the time I got to 4, so definitely could be a little better there, I think. And then we'll see what happens after that.
All right, well, he's up in a few. We'll let him get back to business.
All right, then, as we train our cameras towards Stephen Neveu, he is our next competitor to take to the water, and we anticipate seeing him in the next few minutes. But on the water is Stephen Island. So now that you've gone through the jitters that are associated with the opening pass, what do you think is going through Stephen Island's mind right now?
Well, it's hard to say. Everybody's got their own thing, their own way to find their flow, find their center. But what I think is important is Stevie can't let the fact that this is his first final, he can't let that get to his head. He's got to ski his game, his passes, and that includes coming out and attacking, starting with this blue loop right here, 12-meter pass. He's gonna have to hit attack mode right here, find his rhythm so he knows how hard he can push at 38 and 39.
All right, here he comes, Stephen Island. So, he'll have some Waterski Pro Tour points as a result of competing in this final. So, he'll be on that list at year's end here at this 5-star Waterski Pro Tour event. As we look out and see Stephen Island right there in the background behind Stephen Neveu.
Look at this event. Look at the weather.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the coverage, you guys. It's just unbelievable to see what's happening out here today. And that 35 off for Steven was pretty dang good. You saw he was up course pretty much the whole time, tight line, no panic. And a lot of it has to do with having one of the best drivers in the world behind the wheel right there, Alex King. He's a Kiwi.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a talented skier and talented driver, and he's a great human.
Absolutely. And
he's young.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's gonna be doing this for years upon years, and his skills will improve alongside the technology which ever evolves in this sport of tournament waterski slalom. It's only within about the last 2 to 3 seasons that we've introduced the boat path measurement system. So that's been a real boon and a real help to our drivers. But can you imagine what it's going to be like 5 years down the road, Marcus?
Yeah, the level of performance just keeps rising because the variables become less and less, and the skier can focus on what they're doing. So here at 38 off, Stevie Island, first finals ever for this guy. And, he was a little craned over 3. He got deep at 4. He's got to stay calm. He did. Safety turn 5. And unfortunately, that's going to raise the heart rate, and that's going to maybe lower the confidence. If he sits in the water, he can regroup, find his footing again. He's going to be okay at 39. He's got to stay in attack mode. He can't let this pass get him on his heels. Now, one thing we'll see, you won't see it from this angle, but if we compare the likes of Dane Meckler, who skied before Stevie, with Stevie, one of the things that you see the difference, and the future Stevie you're going to see more of, is more dynamic movement once he hooks up with 2 hands right here. That was a big 4. Not a great example of what I'm talking about, but safety turn 5 here because he just wanted to get through the pass and hit reset. But from that boat view, if you watch the replay, one of the best things that he can do moving forward is getting his body moving dynamically towards the first wake once he gets 2 hands on the handle. If he can make that adjustment here at 39, just a little bit, just 2%, he'll get through this pass.
And you mentioned heart rate a little bit earlier on, which goes on to the next subject, which is conditioning. You know, how important is it to be in the kind of condition that Stephen Island is in, you know, when it comes to regulating how much your heart beats?
It's incredibly important. Being able to perform mandates that you have to have a low heart rate. Low heart rate comes with higher fitness, and I know he's focused on that as well, so he's going to need every bit of that at 39. Let's see what he does. He's got a tail slide at 1. He's got a big 2. If he stays calm, he can stay in it. Slow 3. He's fighting now. Loose out of 4, and he's just getting later and later. It's going to be tough to.
Inside for 6.
He did not get the 5 he needed or the 4 he needed. He still had a chance, Tony, but he was just skiing, I would say, a little bit conservative, and that's what happens usually in these final conditions, is the skier tends to start to back off and try to not fall. And you saw after that 1 ball, he should have tried to stay in attack mode a little bit more, but for his first finals ever, skiing just inside 6, that's pretty dang good skiing for Stevie Island. Tail slide at 1. You saw that.
That tip grab.
The tip grab, and then tail starts to slide because the whole ski starts to lift out of the water. And then here at 3, he was so slow out of 3, he needed to pull long into 4. That pushes his rhythm down course. He's got a loose 4, drops the shoulder into 5. He needed the big 5, and he didn't get it. He went conservative. He needed to go all or nothing. Just didn't have enough direction to get space to get 6. Still pretty good skiing for Stevie Island. First finals ever.
Yes, indeed, and that leaves him with 5 at 10.75 meters, and I mean he should leave out of this the site and go back to West Palm Beach with his head held high.
Yeah, especially if you consider his first round, he got his gates taken, I believe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
38 off, so he got a score at 35 off, and he comes out and runs 341, ends himself in the finals, and he almost runs 39 in the finals, so he's got to be nothing but stoked for his performance here at Hilltop Pro-Am.
All right, and here's another fellow out here that's looking to place high, and not originally from Texas, but he lives there now. It is Stephen Nephew, originally out of the province of Alberta in Canada.
Yeah, you know, I wish Bob Marley was here beside us right now, because this is one of his favorites, getting to watch Stevie ski, because Bob's a tall skier, Stephen's a tall skier, and I think he'd have some some pretty funny stuff to say, but it's just a treat to watch this guy ski because from a style standpoint, he's got his own style. And we don't want to get too hooked up or too locked up in looking at people's styles because it's not about style, but he definitely skis his own way. And it's cool to watch him out here skiing with the best in the world.
And let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, here with Rob Hazelwood. So, Rob, what's the plan?
Go out there and ski, I guess. Go out 32. Hopefully put out a score. I mean, there's some big guys following me, but just essentially kind of the basics. Get through that 39 and then give myself an opportunity at 41 is always the goal. But every pass as it comes and hopefully enjoy it.
We're going to enjoy watching. Back to you, Tony.
All right, then. There is Rob Hazelwood.
Rob's like a cartoon character.
And there is Nate Smith over there. And we're joined here by Regina Jaquist. How are you doing there, sweetie?
I'm great, thank you. It's a good weekend here at Hilltop, so I'm excited. That was a great women's finals and deep 39 that we had to go, so I can't wait to see what the guys have. It felt really nice out there, and our scores showed it, so I'm sure we're going to see some 41s go down by these men.
All right, excellent stuff. Congratulations once again on your win, and we look forward to seeing what the men can do. We've got Stephen Neville, but what about the performances so far from our first two competitors, Dane and Stevie Island?
I know Dane was wanting to get further down 41, so he's going to be upset, but still 2.5 at 41. That's a score that's putting pressure on, and those guys know they're going to have to run 39 now.
All right, then, and as Stephen Neville makes his way through pass number 2, let's check in with Wade.
Past champion of this event, and man, this weather's nice, all right?
It's better than last year, that's for sure. Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, we're going to see some big scores. We saw yesterday, as soon as the sun came out, everyone got like 4 more buoys, so it's going to be a good one. Yeah, ready for it.
Any changes from yesterday?
1.5 more buoys. A couple more. I mean, that'd be good. But I'm pretty happy, honestly, with how I skied. It felt good. I was able to turn both sides, and I felt strong. So, yeah, let's go do it.
I like it. Let's go do it. Back to you guys.
All right, then, continuing to roll along, and the voting is still going on for Skier of the Day. I know that you're eyeing up this little trophy here. Never mind the cash prizes and all of that kind of stuff. You want one of these, because you haven't gotten one of them yet this season, have you?
No, I actually never have. So I would. Yeah,
Whitney's got
one.
Nice
little trophy to add. I can always just take it.
Oh, you
could.
Take
it, yeah.
I think after you have lunch off of it, it's yours anyway. So,
that's true.
Yeah,
they have
just go serve up.
Really good Mexican here for all the athletes. So.
All right, then, and putting that to one side, here we go. We got Stephen Neville with 11.25 meters. Good hookup off buoy number 1. Certainly one of our top. Now he's starting to lay things out.
That woke him up.
Yep.
And I think in this finals, Steven's probably going to be our tallest guy.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yep, indeed. Certainly our tallest skier out there. So he had a little 1 or 2 wake-up moments during the course of this pass. Starting off with the modified one-handed gate shot.
That's not a hiccup. That's just standard. That's a boost. But he did come up a little narrow. See that big 2, and he kind of took a little too much load, and right there he got almost pulled inside 3.
Yeah,
and that would have been unfortunate for him at 38 off. But he's a veteran.
He's a veteran, and he also has the height on his side. But, once he gets to the 39, 41, that will be detrimental to him, creating that load so early out of the buoy. It would catch up at the next buoy. So that's what we saw at that pass, and he knows that. Like you said, he's a veteran. He knows that he's going to have to adjust where he's picking up the line, and that way he can run this next pass, because otherwise he's not going to make the podium.
Yeah, and he needs to, because we have top score 2.5 at 41 off. What are you pointing at there?
I wonder what songs are playing inside of Rob Hazelwood's head right now. He's always jigging to something.
I would say like Party in the USA.
Something like that.
From Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, 39.5 off. Steven needs all 6 of these buoys to put the pressure on. He's looking pretty good here. Coming into 3, gets broken
look at
over,
this.
but he kept a tight line.
And came right back over his ski.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
There
Couple
he goes.
hiccups, but no big deal.
Good.
The energy on the crowd here at Hilltop is fantastic. You could hear in the background people screaming after he got through that pass. It's great to see having the spectators on the shoreline and having them so enthusiastic about the slalom skiing.
Yeah, and again, I think this was a great pass for him to have at 39. A couple hiccups, but he found his limits, and I think coming into 41 off, if he can get that gate he's looking for and come out of 1 clean, watch out.
He came out of 1 clean, but then his 3 and 5 got a little off balance. But yeah, like you said, if he can carry enough speed at this gate, I think he can get down the 41 off. We have Dane in the lead with the 2.5, and so he knows he's going to have that gate. Otherwise, it's not going to be enough. The beauty of this is he has a nice headwind.
Yeah, really nice headwind. This is what you want for 41 off.
I know. Kind of jonesing about it.
I know. Well, you kind of had different priorities.
I did. I know. I got really mental in my head and made sure I was going to just go for one.
Yep.
But that's kind of what you do on Sunday.
You're skiing to win. You're not skiing for a PB or world record.
So here we go. This is the pass right now, coming in at 41 into a nice little head breeze.
Narrow on the gate. I don't know if I like that. He's slow out of 1. Got crushed.
No.
That was not what he wanted at the start. I think that headwind might have pushed him a little narrow before he turned in.
It did. I don't think he even really ever got up on the boat where he needed to with that headwind.
No.
Or at all with where 41 off is.
Yeah. So he was just hard pressed to get outside of 1 with space to make a move, and he got crushed right there through the exit or through the transition, and that took him straight to 2. So unfortunate for Steven. I know he wants more, but hey, he's a working man now. He lives in Texas and he's got other priorities. So just to come out and be in the finals.
Yeah, it's great. I know, it's kind of cutthroat, you're excited, but at the same time, you wanted more, you can do more. So it gets frustrating. But, like you said, he's in a new chapter of his life and got to go back to work tomorrow.
All right, and with that score of 2 at 41 off, that puts him half a buoy behind our current leader right now with 2.5 at 10.25 meters, Dane Meckler, and there you see the leaderboard after 3 skiers have been out there. We're approaching the halfway point of the men's slalom final, and coming to us originally out of Lincoln in England, and the Great Britain men's slalom representative in the recent World Games is going to be Robert Hazelwood. So,
Handsome Bob?
Yeah, Handsome Rob, as Wade calls him.
Is it Handsome Rob or Handsome Bob?
Handsome Rob.
Rob.
Yes, as in the character from the Italian Job. The latest one.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I don't know if he likes it. Either way, I don't know if he appreciates it very much. So let's just keep doing it.
That's how nicknames start.
That's exactly how they start. Well, we still have this perfect head tailwind. It's going to be 32 off start, I'm assuming, for Rob. You see the start list after him. It's going to be Cole McCormick, Nate Smith, Freddie Winter, and Will Asher to round out the Syndicate Skis Hilltop Pro-Am.
Yeah, and I know yesterday a couple of the guys, Nate Smith, he started at 35. It'll be interesting to see what that pans out, if they're all going to continue starting at 32 off, what their mentality will be with knowing they've got to run the 39 in the tailwind as it's picking up, or do they just bank on making sure they go 39 headwind. So,
yep. 32 start gives you 41 head, which I assume in the finals that's what most skiers are going to want. But,
yep.
Nate's been starting at 35 kind of the last couple months.
For every tournament he's always been at 35. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the field plays out. And, I think maybe 32 will be the start so they can line up that 41 off headwind.
Notice he kept his hair dry. Is that the key? Hair dry or hair wet?
Let's do it.
Regina, what do you do?
You know,
Does it matter?
I
Full dunk or just up to the neck?
it's kind of cold, so it depends how much you need to be woken up, I
Okay,
guess. So
okay.
obviously he had enough coffee today, and
Obviously.
but yeah, here's Rob Hazelwood coming in at 32 off and on a Syndicate. So I know this is a big Syndicate team member, and it's great to have all the Syndicate skiers here at the Syndicate Hilltop Pro-Am.
And also contributing to the HO Sports vlog that's on their YouTube site. You can do a search for that a little later on after the event. But after Rob Hazelwood clears the opening pass, let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, here with Dane Meckler, and yeah, we all want more buoys, but I just said, hey, you're the leader on the dock after 3, so we can't be that disappointed, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, of course you want more. It felt amazing out there, and actually I felt pretty good on my ski. I really thought I was going to get down that a little more. The conditions were perfect, but, first out, it's a blessing and a curse. You can put out a big score, or you don't have the kind of luxury to go out in S-turn, so I had to try to crank that 3 and get the 4 because it's it might be holding up now, but it certainly won't. So
Skiing next weekend?
absolutely. Yep, so I'll see you next weekend.
All right, right on. Back to you guys, Tony.
All right, then, continuing on, and we're just having way too much fun up here, Regina.
I know, I'm happy. I had a great day.
You had the greatest day you could have
Yeah.
on the finals day.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
red eye is going to be a lot better going
Way
on
better.
tonight.
Way better.
Yep, work day on Monday, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
All
Land
right.
and go straight in.
Are you coming back next weekend?
Yep, excited. I'll come back Friday to back over to the
Cali
West
Pro-Am.
Coast for the California Pro-Am.
All right. Here
Which I'm sure everybody that's at this event will be there battling it out. But here we go, Rob at 35 off or 12 meters. Should be another walk in the park for him.
He's looking a little bit more settled on this pass than he was his opening pass. Starting to trust his moves. And that was pretty dang clean. 35
Yeah,
off.
that looks
Rob
great.
Hazelwood.
He's definitely in it.
All right, and with that, let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, here with Stevie Allen, his first pro final today, and not bad, right?
Not bad. Yeah, definitely want more. We'll see where the chips fall here today, but it's a lot of good skiers in this final. I mean, it is stacked lineup today. Really great skiing. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of disappointment, but excited to ski on Sunday and have this progression with my skiing has been exciting.
So what's going to be your biggest takeaway?
Man, I don't know. There's so much to soak in, honestly. I mean, last year I came here as my first pro event, and you just learn so much by doing these events and skiing with the best in the world. So just tons to learn, and I'm excited for next weekend, Cali Pro-Am.
And he's 6 buoys better than he was a year ago. That's unbelievable. Keep it up, Stevie. Back to you guys.
All right, and the Stephen Island, in the previous round to this one, scored halfway down 10.25 meters or 41 off. So holding his head up pretty darn high after that performance, and also his showing here in the finals.
Yeah, that's great to see. Whenever you make your first pro finals, that's kind of your stepping into a new world for yourself as a pro water skier. Wouldn't you agree, Marcus?
I would totally agree. And to see him, he works for this, he lives for this, and to see him here now in the finals for the first time, really cool. That was not a great one ball for Rob.
Yeah,
but
he's going to be fighting the rest of this pass.
He's trying to calm it down, back in it at 4. Wow. Okay, so
Come on, Rob.
that was a wake-up call.
Yeah, he's going to definitely need to have a better gate than that at 39 off, especially with the tailwind. It doesn't look like it's that windy out there, but it's still going to be pushing on you. So he's definitely going to have to set up this next pass so that we can see Rob.
I hope he has some gummy bears in his back pocket that he can...
But yeah, back to Stevie, I really would like to have a 6 buoy PB from a year ago.
I think that's literally physically impossible. I'm just going to say right now.
Physics is not going to let me have that.
Yes, that's not possible, but it would be nice. But yeah, that's pretty spectacular to see him do that. And Rob, he's also kind of a newcomer in a way. I mean, he's been doing it for a while. He's younger, and last year was kind of a breakout year for him.
Yeah, I agree. You just kind of saw him being more consistent with running 39 off and getting those starts at 41 where he would be 3 or 4. And putting pressure on it and, making it into the Masters for the first time and, getting all that experience for coming into this year. It showed and paid off. And I know he's really focused a lot more this year on just slaloming than the 3 events.
Yep.
And you can also see where that's paying off, too, for him. So
yep.
Here it is, 39 off. Let's make sure he gets a better gate than he did at 38.
Yeah, he's going to need it. He's got a little tail push here from the wind. He went a little hard there, but he executed well out of 1. Loose out of 2.
Kind of narrow into 3. He's going to have to really continue with that line control if he's
battling.
Make it through this pass.
And he's still there.
Wow.
And he gets the pass. There you go. 6 of 39.
Now he's really woken up.
He is woken up. But I will say, so we just talked about him being a newcomer in a way. And that was like a veteran kind of recovery move right there. Kind of what I've seen you do many times at 39. He didn't have the best 2 or 3, and he just hung in there. And he just kept his head in it.
What I liked is he really didn't have a good gate, but he controlled. You see right there how clean he came out of 1. He controlled his body and the line connection with the boat, that he stayed in that pass even though he was narrow and had to go super hard. Now, it did catch up with him at 2 and 3, but he just kept going. And like you said, that's a veteran move of being able to run that pass.
Yep.
This isn't an easy pass. This isn't a give you pass. This is 39 off.
I think here at 41, he's going to reset, and he's going to focus on his key, just trying to establish that rhythm on the move in for the gate and trusting that outbound move into 1, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited. He skis with a lot of emotion. He is a very, a happy,
very excitable guy.
But he skis with the emotions. So it's fun to watch him.
The thing is, he's got a best of, I should know this, 3 or 4, but he's got the capability to maybe take it down the line.
He definitely has the capability to run it. I think it's 4 at 41 as far as
I believe
best.
it is.
All right, then. So his PB is 4. Let's see.
That's not going to be it.
We need to get down it. So.
No, and scores 1 1/2 buoys there. So he's got plenty of fans back home in Lincoln, England. They're watching him at about 20 minutes to midnight in the evening, and they've just seen their skier, Rob Hazelwood, get 1 1/2 buoys at 10.25 meters. And what do you see here, Marcus?
Well, he was on that cut just a little long for 41 off, in my opinion, which gave him a little extra momentum. When he wanted to make the move on the backside of 1, he had just a little too much momentum and speed to get behind the boat without slack. And that caught up to him. You'll see here, decent move in, but he just held it a little long and was kind of hung out there straight at 1, and you see him come out of 1 on the back of the ski, and there's no chance.
It's such a fine line of being able to get that gate nailed down to be able to get past 2 ball at 41.
Indeed.
But I agree.
That's why when these guys and girls get past 2 and make it look easy, like yesterday, you just kind of shake your head and wonder what they're doing, how they do it, how you do it.
All right, then. So we're now past the halfway point. 4 more skiers to go. We're going to see Nate Smith, Freddie Winter, and Will Asher take to water in a few minutes. But before those competitors, we're going to see Canada's Cole McCormick. Now, he's certainly been a fan, a skier that's been fascinating for the last few occasions, last couple of seasons, and. His stock has been rising there, Marcus.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, one of those Canadians that's very talented, comes from a skiing family, if you will, and just been solid the last couple of years. And he's one of those guys that can pop a 41 off if he sticks to his key, keeps things simple, and just goes out and attacks. As he gets shorter and shorter. So I'm hoping he's going to do that, because right now the lead's 2.5, Dane Meckler, and I want to see somebody turn 3 and take it down the line at 41 off and put the pressure on the rest of these guys.
And I'll probably be right in saying that at this point, after Dane Meckler climbed out the water, he probably was a little bit pessimistic of his chances of that score being in the lead for very much longer after he skied. But right now we're going into the second half, and 2.5 at 10.25 meters has still yet to be effectively challenged or superseded at this point, Regina.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dane had it in his head. He was wanting to get past 3 ball. He didn't want to do 2.5 like he did yesterday at both rounds. He wanted 3, 4, put a lot more pressure. But here we are, 4 more skiers to go, and he's still in the lead. So he's now at a spot where he's kind of happy but still frustrated.
It's interesting to see the tough start going into that headwind for 41 off. I wouldn't expect that. So I think somebody's going to have to break through that kind of barrier that's been put up somehow in the first half of this men's final. And it could be this guy right here, Cole McCormick.
Yeah, here is Cole McCormick, and I agree. It's almost like they're being a little hesitant, thinking that the headwind is going to be more helpful for them because they're just getting either narrow or slowing down and then having to react to that.
Yep.
Not looking too bad on the opening pass, and let's send it over to Wade.
So, Nate, sun's out, no birds.
Yeah, last year there were birds flying all over the place. It looked like you're going to run into them, but no, it's perfect conditions right now.
So, any changes from yesterday?
No, I'm going to stick with what I had. I mean, we still have a little headwind off the dock, but I'm going to go 35. It's what I've been doing, and go out and try and put up the biggest score that I can. I mean, Will's out there running 41 every round, so I expect him to do the same thing today also.
All right, we're going to see him up next. Back to you guys.
All right, then, and looking to work his way up from his current tour position of 6th right now. That was Nate Smith, but on the water is Cole McCormick, who was the Canadian men's slalom representative over at the World Games, and actually was looking pretty good for the top medal in those World Games in Birmingham, but got caught out in the conditions in the finals, and wanting to kind of redeem himself a little bit after that.
Well, today might be the day.
Absolutely.
Yep. So he looks good. That was his opener pass at 32, and now here comes Cole McCormick, 35, or the 12-meter line, just getting settled in, going to fill out the wind conditions and feel how he's going to be able to attack the next couple passes that he has to get through.
Yeah, you see Cole there, very reminiscent of Dane Meckler. Cole and Dane have very similar onsides. Their 135s are some of the best in the sport, and they do quite similar things into and out of that 135 side, that onside turn. So, again, it's fun to watch Cole. If you're lefty, you can learn a lot from these guys and girls, and Cole's one of the best to watch, especially for that entry and exit from his onside turns.
Yeah, very clean and very consistent with it.
All right, then, taking a look at Freddie Winter as he makes his way to the dock side. We're going to see him skiing about to the free skiers from this point. And be sure to click on the subscribe button at the Waterski Broadcasting Company's YouTube channel to be informed as to when the next live broadcast will be active, and also to participate in the live chat, which is taking place right now with this webcast. And there have been some interesting comments there.
What you got?
Actually, you've got one or two fans out there, Regina.
I got fans.
Yes, you do. All right, then, rocking and rolling now. This here is Cole McCormick, 11.25 meters to start. Even at this relatively early stage, is critical.
He's a little back out of 1 and back through the transition to 2, but he's back on his game. He's finding the right stance on the ski there out of 3 and 4. But that, you see right there, he loaded really hard from 5 into the wakes, and he kind of gets bounced in the transition into 6. It's what happened from 1 to 2 as well. And if he could back that intensity off a little at 39, but keep everything else as sharp, I think we're going to see a clean 39. But that was a uncharacteristic start from Cole.
Yeah, it's interesting this end. More people are getting narrow.
Yeah.
At this end.
I think it's deceiving on the wind, and also just something about the visuals, because a lot of folks, guys and girls, are talking about almost being too early on the gates in a way.
Yeah.
It skis great here. You know, it's a cooler temperature as far as the water goes, coming from where most of us are back in Florida. You know, so the temperature of the water does make the ski ride different. You know, so I think that's also some of the battles that we're going through here, not having skied here for, you know, more than just the tournament, just trying to get used to how your ski is sitting in this cooler temperature. So maybe that's also some of the issues that are going on through, that's what I think,
For
as far
sure.
as through all of us that are coming from that warmer water.
Yep. Well, he's going to have 39.5 off to figure it out right here. He needs the gate. He needs the one to establish that rhythm. He doesn't need it. He's a veteran. He can figure it out in a way, but he's going to want it.
All right, rocking and rolling from one side to the next. Here's number 3, gets the good hook up on 3.
He's not in rhythm, but he's still going to fight it out right here.
And fight it out effectively. Look at that.
Another 39
Running 39, and he made that one look relatively straightforward at the end.
So in the finals, that is a pretty clean pass. I know that I was a little harsh on him. That was probably his cleanest 39, because I know yesterday, you know, he missed the first one. He ran the second one pretty nice, and this one actually was nicer. Better start than 38 for sure, which is what you want to see.
Yep. He is definitely able to keep everything moving, which is why he was able to get through that pass. Like you said, it's a great pass for Sunday in the finals. There's a lot more pressure. You know, he knows what he's got to do to take the lead from Dane, but he still doesn't know what he's going to have to do to be on the top of the podium. So There's a lot of pressure riding out there. But you know, he knows that's not where he needs to be for his gate, and he's sitting down at this end trying to get it figured out, understand what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do in his head, so he just has to execute it. So hopefully he can get it done, because, you know, I definitely think Cole McCormick is kind of one of those that could definitely shake up this podium.
Put it out there. He talked to me earlier, and he was worried yesterday on his gate. He went in just a little narrow, maybe got caught a little narrow on this 41 gate, so I'm going to look for him to keep a little more momentum through this turn right here and get set up for one.
Here he comes. This is 10.25. Look
Let's
at
see if
that,
he can
goes
turn
deep
two.
on number 1.
He's
Can he
gonna
make a piece on, make a play on 3?
Did he get around 3 and drop
I
the
don't
handle?
know.
I thought he did too.
All right, then this is where the slow motion replay comes into play.
I thought he did. I was surprised he let go. You know, I thought he was going to try to get back to the wakes. I thought that was a great gate, like we were saying, you know, where he needed to be on it. Look how clean I thought he came out of 1.
Well,
it's a little loaded too soon.
He did load a little soon. He got almost 2 rotated out of 1. Had to deal with it there too. And I don't know. I don't know if he got.
No.
I don't know.
In my eyes, that it was inside.
Looked like he might have got inside 3 right there.
We'll
I know
see
he's
what
going to be.
Judges say.
He's going to be bummed. He had the gate he needed. And you'll see out of 1, he almost rotated too much. The ski grabbed too much right there and had to reset. And that little bit of lag time puts him down course at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, this is interesting because he got a little further down the rope yesterday. And today we're still waiting to see somebody turn 3 or get a full 3. We've got 3 guys left, and Dane Meckler is on the bubble right now for a podium spot.
Yep, he's definitely on the bubble for the podium spot. I think we're going to wait here to get the official score on Cole McCormick. But as we stand, Dane Meckler is in the lead with the 2.5 at 41, and we've got 3 skiers left. Nate Smith on the dock that we just saw. Now Freddie Winter will be after him, and then Will Asher will be our top seed.
All right, then. So a 2-buoy count has been confirmed. Now, that tied with Stephen Nephew, of course, but because of the superior backup from the previous round, it means that Cole McCormick has that advantage ahead of Stephen Nephew. So Dane Meckler still in first with 3 competitors left to go, ahead of Cole McCormick second with 2 at 10.25 meters, and currently in third right now is Stephen Nephew with 2 with that same score.
So I know we were talking earlier how
35.
the
12, please.
most of them are going to start at 32, get that headwind off the dock, get the headwind 41. We've now got Nate Smith coming out and going for 35 off. So we got our first 35 off start. So that means he'll be doing the 41 off from the different view of the lake and having a tailwind on top of that. So maybe he's seeing some things that have been going on with the skiers before him, and but also he's been starting at 35 off for the last couple tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the head tail that we have right now may not be as big of a factor for him. Over, maybe he likes starting from that end, something like that. Could be as simple as that. And because he's starting at 35 off the last couple months, it's not that big of a deal for him to just keep doing the same thing.
Exactly. I agree. And, the other thing, I don't know if you've paid attention at home or not, but we've got islands on both sides of the lake. And on the other end, we're actually turning a different direction than what we normally do to come into the pass. So maybe he's wanting to have a different setup on that end. Maybe he prefers that as well.
Either way, this 35 off is probably going to look like 32 off, even though it's the 12-meter pass.
So continuing to rock from one side to the next. He's round number 4 and 5 and just makes that pass look incredibly easy at the 35 off for his opener.
He did make that look like 32.
He did, indeed. It looks very deceptive. But let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, I'm here with Rob, and I heard you doing your vlogging back here, and I was sort of perving out, and I heard you say you ran 3:10.7s this weekend, and so, good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the first kind of pro through-round tournaments that I've run 39 every round this season, so I can't really be too mad with that. I wanted a little bit more. For some reason, I tried to turn 2. I was like, just go for it, which I can't be mad at. Every now and then you're going to get one of those, but I think ends up in about 7th place, obviously depending on the strong skiers come in, but I got to be happy with that, and I can't be too mad.
Another final, and you be there next weekend?
Oh yeah, I'll be there next weekend, and hopefully same thing, looking for those 39s to go down.
All right, I like his attitude. Back to you guys.
All right, continuing to rock, and for those of you that want to participate in the live chat, then go to the TWBC YouTube channel and click on the subscribe button, and also click on the bell icon, and you can participate in the live chat. And Regina, yes, you do have plenty of fans, including the 1985 World Women's Slalom Champion, offering her congratulations. That's Camille Duval.
Camille Duval. That's amazing.
All right, here we go, 11.25 meters.
The fact that Nate makes that look like 35 off, pretty impressive. Slight tailwind, no big deal. Pretty clean, pretty easy.
He didn't have his best day yesterday. Sure, he went back, kind of analyzed what went wrong for him, and is going to come out, ready to play today. Fix the things that went wrong for him, and put the score out, because he watched Will have an amazing day yesterday. So he's got to get back to having an amazing day himself.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things that Nate does really good is, a lot of people focus on what you do from the buoy to the wakes to get the acceleration. That's one of my biggest things, is if you can recover position quickly and you can accelerate better than anybody else, you're going to be better than everybody else. But also Nate does the best from the wakes to the buoy. He's very good at staying connected to the boat outbound, and that's going to be required at 41 off if he gets through this 39 and he wants to put the pressure on these guys. He's going to need to use his talent, his skills, stay connected to the boat from the wakes outbound to have the space to make turns at 41 off. So
yeah, and I agree. And you see the body structures. Look at the last 3 in the dock. We got Nate, and then you just saw Will and Freddie. The power. Will looks like he's working out all the time. And then you see Nate, he's going to be a lot taller, but he's so efficient with where he's working the boat that he's actually loading pretty hard in the right spots, though. So I would imagine he is able to put just as much load as Will Asher is.
Yeah, body position's key, right? Using your skeleton, your structure. If you get your body in the right stance, then the load doesn't feel like as much load.
Exactly. And we just watched the 39.
I know.
That looked
No big deal.
like nothing. So he's obviously figured out yesterday's issues, because that was 39 off, and I'm not even sure how he made that look so easy.
Just getting stacked into just a
that
really,
cue ball.
really, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Just skis to a certain point, hooks up, and then he's off to the races.
One of the things that I think that 2-4 is so on both sides really is he has a move to make at the finish of the turn. He's more forward than most skiers into apex, which allows him to then advance the ski slightly to get the tail to rotate through the finish. If you come in neutral or back as you're approaching the apex, the only move you have to make is to move forward to engage the shovel. That's old thinking, in my opinion. Nate's showing us that there's a better way to do it, more consistent way to do it, and he's going to need that right now at 41 off to ride that ski out to apex and move the tail through the finish of the turn if he wants to put pressure on.
Yeah, and I mean, with how he's skiing, I'm excited to see how this goes.
Here we go, 41 off, needs to start. Oh, a little back on the ski, but he continues to move.
In the front of that ski.
He's in this.
I mean, this is looking great.
Almost getting broken over a little bit into number 4, but I tell you what, this is about as good as you can do it.
There you go, 41 off. That's pretty amazing stuff.
And you know, that's the first time he's run 41 off in this competition, I believe.
Yeah, I was, this is the first time he's ran 41 off this weekend. But like I said, you know, he went home yesterday and he was not happy. You know, he made the finals and everything, but that was not what Nate wanted out of himself. You know, he thought he would be running 41. So he went home, studied, and came out to make sure he ran 41. So, and he made it look great. So he figured something out, and starting at 35 paid off for him. We got our first 41 of the day, and our second skier to run 41 off of this weekend.
So in addition to the points offered for the win and all the placements that go up to that point, there's also additional points added for the best score of the competition. Currently, that is being held by Will Escher right now with a score at 1:9 from the round previous to this one. So he's going to have a crack at that too. If he can get the ski outside number 2, he will take those points prior to our last 2 skiers. Well, there you go. That's
it ties the best score.
Yeah, it does.
And I don't know if you saw that, Regina, but his gait did not look comfortable from this end.
It didn't. He got back narrow, had to go hard and long, and I mean, I know it's 43 off, but you know, struggled to get where he got. But great skiing. He looked like he was on his game today, and our first 41 off run in the men's finals here at the Syndicate Hilltop.
And for the first time since our first skier, an effective challenger for the lead. That lead now has been taken away from Dane Meckler, who had 2.5 at 41 off, 10.25 meters, and now it's 1 at 9.75 meters, 43 off.
Can we just go back a second? Camille Duval was watching.
Yes, she was watching.
How amazing. I was just talking to Bob LaPointe. She skied in world championships back in the 70s, was world champion multiple times, and she's still watching. She's still engaged. She still skis out in the West Coast.
And
how cool is that?
Just as amazing as she did back then.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, it's just cool to see that the people are still involved in the sport. They still keep coming back. You see all age levels. People are tuned in. Waterski Broadcast Company has made it easy to watch the likes of all of you guys out here doing it. It's really cool. Really cool to be a part of it.
Yes, it is, and you know, it like you said, it's cool to see them still being involved in the sport. You know, Camille, and then you know Jill Knudsen still skiing here.
Yep.
Just awesome to see, and Camille having a shout out is, you know, you never get over that one.
Oh yes, and by the way, Camille Duval was wanting to call you out a little bit there, Marcus. It was in the 80s that she found her her true claim
82,
to
boss,
fame
thank
with
you.
the 85 World Championship in Toulouse in France.
Did she really just call me out?
Yes, she did.
Okay, but that's funny because she did ski in the
Just
world
like
in the
yesterday,
70s.
mate.
I've seen it. I don't know
Yes,
if
it was in the
Italy or-
1977 at the Idris Gala.
Exactly. She was probably
She just called you back.
she was probably a kid back then. Yeah, well that's all right. I feel bad now.
But you know, she was amazing in all three events.
Yes. Yeah, indeed.
She was another one of those that was
even on the pro tour in the 80s.
yeah.
All three.
I mean, she rocked.
Yep. Well, 2 skiers left.
2 skiers left. Our podium right now is a 1 at 43, and second place with Dane Meckler at 2.5 at 41. We got Freddie Winter and then Will Asher. So both of these guys can still tie or take the lead away from Nate Smith. So it's getting to have some drama right now.
Yep, for sure.
And the drama continues with our next competitor, former world slalom champion from 2017. This is Freddie Winter, coming to us out of the London borough of Wandsworth.
And this is also one of Marcus's.
Yeah, I've gotten to work with Freddie for a couple of years now with Flow Point Method. It's cool to be able to help skiers in a way, because I can't compete anymore, to get to help these guys and girls at the top level. And Freddie is like a sponge. He's eager to listen and takes some of the stuff that I've been able to share, and he's put into use. And it was fun to see him earlier this year run 41 at that Lake 38 event.
All right, then, let's check in with Wade.
Hey, so guys, I'm here with Nate Smith after his best score of the weekend. And it's been maybe 3 minutes or so since you skied and still catching a breath.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you definitely had to fight for it out there. The conditions couldn't be any better. I mean, this place is amazing, and, there's a lot of great skiing this weekend, but there's 2 guys on the dock. Still, Freddie's out there right now, and then Will's shortly after him. That they've both been putting up big scores, so we'll see if that's enough to hold. You never know.
Got to do the Whitney thing. She said sit and wait.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I need to keep my stuff on here just in case there's a runoff. And that was kind of my game plan at 43. I mean, I wanted to try to turn him, but I couldn't justify, falling and, letting somebody beat me. So see if we can tie if somebody runs 41.
We're going to sit and wait with him. Back to you guys, Tony.
Well, the pressure continues to mount, especially for our final 2 competitors. We've got Freddie Winter out there on the water. Will Asher will be taken to it very, very soon. In this, the 2022 Hilltop Pro, presented by Syndicate, along with our great sponsors, Miles Sand and Gravel, Basta Boat Lift, Bigford Ford, Seattle Boat Company, American Distributing, and our good mutual friend, Mr. Rodney himself. Here he comes. This is 12 meters. Woohoo! Almost overloaded there on buoy number 1 there, Marcus.
Yeah, but it's Fred Winter. This guy is tenacious. He's not going to let go. We've seen it many times. He's on the highlight reel. He's not going to let go at 35 off.
He's on multiple highlight reels.
Yes. He's going to hang on. He's just finding his limits, Tony. He's finding the limits of how hard he can push, and he's going to dial that in by the time he gets to 39 and 41. He's going to know where he needs to stand on the ski to get the outcome he wants.
Yeah, and a lot of that too, he could be testing, how hard to push and how much he can get away with at these earlier lines to know what to do later down once we get to 39 and 41.
Yep.
So, it's also him trying to test out the water since today's the finals. It's just one shot today.
Pretty cutthroat. Slalom. It's pretty cutthroat. You get one shot.
One shot.
Yeah, you don't get 3 jumps. You get one shot.
Yeah.
You get one shot.
And a lot can go wrong.
So,
just one shot.
Yep.
So, Regina, do you reckon that Nate has done enough for this plate here for a skier of the day?
Yeah, I do. But
even
it's
taking your
hard.
performance into consideration.
It's kind of hard too to have that. Yes, I do think so. But then I also am like, Will Asher ran 41 twice yesterday, back to back. So it's hard. It's up to the voters. So it's a tough one. I'm not saying. I can't really. I feel like I shouldn't have.
You shouldn't be involved.
Choice, or it shouldn't even be a fair conversation.
Because you're in the running. You're right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, then. Here we go. Freddie Winter. All right, 11.25 meters. Getting a little bit of a slide down course, but he's able to more than...
You can see he's already figuring out his balance and being a little more symmetrical at this line length compared to the last one at 35.
That was much cleaner, much more symmetrical, like you said, and no big surprises there at 38. It only took him 2 passes to dial in for the wind, for the water conditions, for the overall conditions today. So he's looking really good.
Now, here's a question that I have for you a little bit, Regina, because, you arrived here a few days ago. You didn't take a practice set, did you, before you actually went out and skied, right?
No, I didn't. I came in and I landed. I did come out to the site, check out the conditions, saw how beautiful it was, but game day was my practice ride.
Do you put a lot of stock into taking the practice ride or no?
It always is nice to have one, but in this condition, it's a perfect man-made lake. So, yeah, it would have been great, but the opportunity just didn't exist. I wasn't able to get out here in time with work, so I, just had to go with what I had. It paid off, and like I said, in conditions like this, not necessarily the things that you need. So it worked out for me, though.
All right, and checking out the green room, as it were. There's Ali Nicholson, and there is Nate Smith, and
hoping to keep his yellow bib.
Yes, but he could be forced to be back out there on the water if either one or both of these next 2 skiers tie that score.
Exactly. So this is a must pass. This is 39 for Freddie Winter, getting a little funky start out of 1 ball, but.
He's finding his rhythm again, though.
He keeps moving.
Probably
early at 5.
Yeah, little safety check at 5, no big deal.
There
39
you go.
tail.
Another 39 off down.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's definitely. You can tell, the strength and everything. He's doing a great performance out there. But it definitely has a lot to thank to you, Marcus, for his strength. But also with your program, I know you have one of our NFL legends that's on board with you, David Akers.
Mr. David Akers.
And, so I'm sure that back home people are watching, trying to get more involved with the flow point method, like David Akers.
Yeah, so I
think he might actually be watching.
Yeah, I think Ake is watching right now. He sent me a text a little bit ago. But yeah, it's been fun to work with the pros. It's really fun to work with anybody who's keen on trying to take their skiing to the next level. And we've got some cool stuff. We've GiveGo. You've heard of GiveGo, the online coaching platform. So we give any Flow Point Method member 2 free GiveGo sessions a month. We give them 2 Zoom calls a month. And we try to touch everything that has anything to do with becoming a better skier. And also just feeling healthier and skiing longer. Longevity is the name of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's what drew David Akers to the sport. He got out of this amazing career in the NFL.
With some injuries, though.
Yeah, and had injuries. Of course you're going to have injuries as a professional athlete. But this is a sport that he can continue to thrive on, learn from, but continue to do with not as, hopefully, many injuries as he experienced. But here we go. This is our 41 off.
Fred's going to need to run this. He's a little slow out of 2. He's going to need a big 3. I don't know if he's got it. Ooh. He got outside 4, I believe, but that's not what he wanted, guys. You can see the look on his face. He's kind of gutted. He didn't have the start he needed.
No, and he survived it. He did end up knocking Dane down with that 2.5, so Dane's now in 3rd.
That's the feeling right there when you're in the water and you're like, can I just rewind 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Please. And
exactly.
Go back.
If you could just jump back in time, what would you think he would want to do different?
Well,
Marcus?
I'd say he might have just a little out of 1. He might have just rotated his chest a little soon, and then out of 2 here, he got the turn, but he fell back with his hips, and that made him slow and narrow into 3. And now he's just playing catch up. He kind of had to deal with what he had at 3, and there's really no chance of getting out of this without a full 4, but he didn't want that. He's a fighter.
No, he had the intentions of running 41.
Yep. So.
And you can see it right there in his face. So.
Again, this end is a little, it's been tricky off and on for the guys, and I think right here, so that tip grabs a little bit and kind of stands him up, and he needs a 2. He got a decent 2, but he stayed back right there. You saw his hips stayed over his back foot.
And
he got no acceleration. Yep, exactly.
And it's that crucial, watching back home with this replay, you can see, it's in real-time speed. You probably couldn't see the hips.
Yep.
Once you slow it down in that replay, you can see the hips did get behind him in 2, and he never was able to get them centered back up over his.
And he didn't get the drive because of it to center line.
However, he does put himself on the podium with his score of 3.5. That does supersede the score of Dane Meckler, thus relegating Dane Meckler to third place right now. Nate Smith still in the lead and guaranteed at the very least, a second place finish. But we'll see what our final skier has to offer. He comes to us out of the ancient English city of Lincoln, and his name is Will Asher.
How ancient?
Very ancient. I mean, ancient enough to actually hold a copy of the Magna Carta.
That's a long time ago.
Yep.
That's more than 3 people ago, which is... He's riding that ski that he had a huge hand in developing, the new Syndicate Works 01, and he's looked quite nice on it all weekend. So
he's looked amazing, actually, all weekend.
Yep.
So very cool to be able to design and be such an integral part of your companies that you ride for ski production. So that's got to just put him on another level to be able to finally have that all come together for him. And he looks amazing on it. As the best. I mean, there was a period for Will, I want to say like maybe 2015 or 2012 or something. He was on fire. I mean, he just was unbeatable. And you kind of start to see that appear again with him. So it's really cool to see, that come into play for him.
Yeah, he's kind of found his footing again. Obviously, ski design is a blessing and a curse. It's fun.
Yep.
It's what keeps him passionate and driven. But also sometimes when you're trying all kinds of different stuff, you can lose your way a little bit. And so it's a balancing act, as you know. Yeah. Sometimes you got to stick with what you like, and he's finally found something that he really, really likes, and you can see it.
He looks great, and he doesn't even look frazzled that he has to get one at 43 to tie.
Let's check in with Wade.
So, guys, the most quiet time on the dock is right before the last guy leaves and when he leaves. We saw pictures maybe of Williams sitting over there before he went out having his sort of last moments of quiet. But, yeah, the dock gets sort of eerily quiet as the last 3 sort of take their spot on the water. So we have a unique situation here with already a 41 on the board, and we had Willie taking it down a couple times yesterday. So, yeah, this is why we do this, so we can get, to the last skier and check out our group of next generations there cheering us on. So we've had quite the day. It's been super fun to be down here. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Wade. As we continue right along, we've got Will Asher out there on the water and skiing about as well as he's ever skied.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last 2 rounds, he ran 41 off back-to-back.
It's amazing. He's put himself into a good position as far as knowing what he has to do, but now he has a lot of pressure on him because, he knows I got to go repeat what I did yesterday, and I just had the best day of my life yesterday. So, he's got a lot of pressure as far as the score he has to beat, but he's a veteran. He's been around. So the pressure that you have on the dock is top seed, knowing what you have to do. You're the last skier of the day. That's also playing a factor. There's a lot more nerves that are coming into play today than yesterday. So he's just going to have to stay focused. That's kind of the hardest part when you're the last one on the dock, is keeping your focus and keeping your mentality to be able to perform at the level that you can.
So you're saying it's mental also, not just physical?
It's probably 90% mental.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. This level, it's a different ball game for sure.
Yes, it is. But, he's been around so long. He knows how to handle the nerves. And, that's just also why he's still doing it. He still gets nervous. That's how you know you love it and that you still need to be out there doing it.
Yesterday I was sitting here watching with you, commentating, and I was like, I miss those nerves. And I saw the drive. I saw the passion. I saw that magnetic element to the sport where Stevie Island, actually, I was watching him yesterday, and I was like, the pressure's on. He actually went out and ran 3 of 41 to make the finals today. But those nerves I felt, that pull that the sport has at this elite level that ignites the fire inside all of you, that's really cool to get to see And here we have Will at 38 off, and he is still passionate as ever, still driven as ever, and it's fun to see him out here top seed.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, I think he's been in this sport so many times. He's been in these positions. He's okay with knowing 1 at 43, even though it sounds crazy. 1 at 43 is what I got to just do to tie and be in a runoff and go in a runoff with Nate. But I think he's okay with it. I think he knows he can do it.
Do you remember a time early in his career when he wasn't okay with being last out?
I was just actually thinking that. He would purposely not be top seed.
He would drop the handle.
Yeah.
And on purpose in the semis, just so he could go out first.
Probably don't remember that or realize that about Will. But yeah, he hated knowing it. But over time, you learn how to deal with the pressure and being top seed. You sometimes want it and prefer it. And in a site like this, sometimes it's good to know. You know, it's like, okay, it's not going to be a give me. I got to go ski like I've skied all the last 2 weeks. And I think he's been skiing that good. I think he's been running 41 off that often.
Yeah. And those situations played themselves around about the time where he won his 2 World Championship titles, which was all the way back in 2005 and 2009. And he first medaled in the World Championships in 2003. And ever since then, he has been almost a fixture on the podium at the World Championships.
It's true. Great career. I'm just going to really ask for anything more in a career. So here's Will coming in at 39 off, must run pass. You know, still not a give me, but, you know, let's see what he's got.
Well, he's going to need a start. Even though it's Will Asher, he needs a decent start, and it looks like he's got it. He's going to try to stay in that rhythm right here, coming out of 3. And
he's on that work ski, and it's working for him.
Yep, 39.5 off. I mean, I know it's
straight 39.
39. It wasn't the most beautiful one he's run, but it's the finals, and he's not focused at 39. He's looking at 41.
He was already, you know, he's not trying to get ahead of himself, but, you know, he knows he had to run that and not overexert himself so that he can save his energy for trying to repeat what he did yesterday.
Yeah, you see the replay here. That was a great gate. Beautiful start at 1.
And then the classic Will Asher 2 ball. Yeah,
it's probably the best in the business right there.
A turn that has continued to redefine the slalom skiing from the slam and jam techniques from the past that provided a lot of great entertainment from the likes of Mike Hazelwood and Mike Shaylander and Lucky Lowe and the rest of those. It's a far more efficient game these days, and partially the reason because of that is Will Asher on the water.
Here we go, game day.
This is it. It comes down to this. 41 off. He knows what he's got to do.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he's going to do for us here. You know, he's been nailing every gate, so hopefully that's going to be the keys that he works on here. And let's see what unfolds for Will Asher, 41 off.
10.25 meters, needs the start. Gets it round buoy number 1. Look at this. He's round number... handle up high. He's round buoy number 3. Now he's going to have to pull something out the proverbial hat, and unfortunately there for Will Asher, not in this round. So it looks like it's going to be 4 at 10.25 meters.
That's the start he wanted.
I really thought we might be seeing him run 41 all 3 rounds here.
I know. Let's see where it went wrong. He was a little loose out of the backside of 2 right there.
And the birds.
The birds, you see that?
Yeah.
And he was a little narrow at 3 because of it, and he had to make a move.
Narrow at 3 and then just had to survive, kind of what we saw with Freddie, just got behind the line there.
Yep.
Amazing skiing. I mean, you got to give it to this guy. I know he's not happy because he ran the 41s both rounds yesterday, but still amazing skiing for the guy that's been on a podium every event he's been in.
Yeah, that's sensational this year at 40 years of age to see him come out here. And if he just doesn't fall off the
back. If he would have been just a little bit more over the front of that ski, I think it would have been a game changer right there for him.
Yep.
And just looking at the tail end of this pass of Will Asher, then just get in the 4, realizing that the gig is up, and let's check in with Wade.
Hey guys, I'm here with our champ, and he's continued his undefeated season. Had to do some work today, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, before the finals even started, Will was out there running 41 both rounds, so I knew that the guys after me were going to put up big scores, and went out and did my thing and ran 41, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be enough with Will, but it was, so I'm pretty happy.
So, yeah, it must have been a little bit of sort of maybe a frog in the throat. I heard Regina even saying Nate wasn't happy when he left the lake yesterday.
Yeah, I was pretty upset yesterday with how I skied. I've been skiing well the last week, and I think just coming up the cooler water, I don't know. I don't have an excuse for yesterday, but figured it out today, and that's what matters.
Well, congratulations. Go enjoy, and we'll see you on the podium.
All right, then, and that brings to a conclusion this event. We've got the award presentations to take place in a few moments, but Marcus, what's your assessment of what we've seen out there, starting from the likes of Dane Meckler all the way down to the eventual end?
Well, I mean, the field is deep. You look at a guy like Chris Parrish yesterday, 2 at 41 off twice, didn't make the finals, and then the first guy out ends up almost making the podium, Dane Meckler, all the way up to Nate going out there and running tailwind 41 off. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, the field's strong in both men and women slalom.
Yep.
All right. Let's check in with Wade one more time.
Hey, guys, we're here with Will Asher. And, Will, I know that wasn't necessarily the way you wanted to finish it, but, man, you had a great weekend. And if you have a weekend and you finish second, can you really be that disappointed?
No, I'm really happy. I'm really happy to knock out the 41s yesterday. I knew Nate was going to run it, and I was like, well, do I sandbag and then just kind of put myself in a spot? I'm like, oh, no, just see what I can do under pressure. And it's just amazing. You get a little bit extra nerves in the final, how everything just kind of amps up just a little bit more. You hit a bit more power on the gate. You hit a bit more power out of one. And it's just the little things, and Nate has the experience. I mean, he's ran more 41s than everybody else combined, and I mean, the only way I'm going to get close to him is if I get more practices at 41. So here we go.
Well, no, I actually like that because Regina brought up the fact that you sort of relish these moments now in your career, and where early in your career, I remember you would have wanted to go first in a final and sort of get it over with, set the mark and get it over with.
Yeah, that was my MO for so many years, and probably a bit like a drug addict. How do you get the next high? Well, I guess it's try and get Nate to go off in front of you in a final when you know he's probably going to run 41. So I'm happy to go out there. I ran some really clean passes yesterday. I was happy with how I skied today. I learned something from it.
And a new ski to boot.
Yeah, new skis are awesome. I couldn't be happier. This is my first tournament with it. And a tournament really is a true test of a ski. You can do what you want in practice. You get to tournament, it could just, yeah. Look at that smile. He knows exactly. Yeah, but I'm super stoked. The team's doing amazing things, and future looks bright.
And we are going to see him on another professional podium. So we'll let him change and get back. Back to you guys.
All right, then. So thanks a lot, Wade, and thanks a lot there, Will. And
good to see he still learns.
Yes, indeed. It's a continuing learning and evolving process.
He's a student.
And the day you stop learning, you just need to step away. All right, then. So we've got Nate Smith, your winner, with 1 at 9.75. Will Asher with 4 at 10.25. Half a buoy ahead of Freddie Winter with 3.5 at 10.25. A whole buoy ahead of Dane Meckler with 2.5 at 10.25. And then we see Cole McCormick, Stephen Neville, Robert Hazelwood, and Stephen Island rounding off the top 8. Let's have a look at the Waterski Pro Tour standings. Will Asher there with 341 points. That is how valuable this competition is, being a 5-star event. He is still very much in the lead. Freddie Winter there with 198, marginally ahead of Nate Smith with 182. Thomas de Gasperi, who we send much love and the good vibes out to, I'm sure he's watching, with a 147 currently in 4th. Sasha Deska in 5th, and then we see the remainder of the leaders on there, and you can find out more by going to waterskiprotour.com. So, we've got our award presentations taking place in a few minutes, so stick around, folks. This is the 2022 Hilltop Pro presented by Syndicate And with a big shout out to Rodney, we've got Miles Sand and Gravel, Basta Boat Lift, Bigfoot Ford, Seattle Boat Company, and American Distributing, part of the supporting cast so far as their sponsorship support goes. We have got the award presentation, so stick around for that after this.
For skiers and water enthusiasts, Florida lakes are what dreams are made of. Combined with world-class golf, remarkable weather, natural beauty, theme parks, and so much more, it's easy to see that Florida is paradise. For more than 30 years, I've enjoyed Florida's lakes and many offerings. If you are interested in Florida real estate, let me be your guide and trusted advisor as you search for your paradise. Together, we can make your dreams a reality.
Morning, Ryan. Hey, morning. You have a good weekend? Yeah, got out on the water a couple times. How about you? Yeah, I got to set in. Just gonna make a quick phone call here. Oh, of course. Can you get that, Will? Yeah, man, I got it. Thanks for calling Wake House. This is Will. Yeah, looks like we've got those in stock.
On the internet nowadays and social media, there's bits and pieces about how to get better, but there was never a program that tied everything together.
I was looking for something I could do mainly on the off season so that when I started skiing in the spring, I didn't feel like I was hit by a truck.
My mobility is better. I'm less sore. I felt like I was a 50-year-old that was closer to 60. Now I feel like I'm a 50-year-old that's kind of closer to 40. Yeah.
Try Match Play at bplayfield.com.
Hi, my name is Brantley Hawkins. I'm one of the co-founders here at New Dimensions Wellness. My partner and I have over 20 plus years of sports medicine and exercise experience working with the most elite athletes in the world. Together we have developed a proven system that has been sought out by these professional athletes and is now available to you.
You will move your body and loosen your joints in ways that you haven't before. It's not your typical weight training, it's not CrossFit, and it's not crunch fitness.
Once I got in here, it was a big eye-opener how much different that they go about everything.
What if I told you there was a place where the sounds of nature are only broken by the roar of a boat? A place where that summer feeling lasts all year long. A place where the Florida sun is only outshined by the smiles of the skiers. A place where first-time skiers can ski alongside world champions, and the world-class coaches work with all levels of skiers. What if I told you there was a place where life slows down, and your only job is to make lifelong memories? That place is Swiss Waterski Resort. Book your trip at SwissWaterskiResort.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to the prize presentations for this 2022 Hilltop Pro presented by Syndicate Skis. Have you enjoyed yourselves? All right then, thank you very much indeed. And let's go headlong into the award presentations, starting off with the women's competition. And we will go from 8th all the way through to 1st. And ladies and gentlemen, in 8th place, let's give it up for a please, a local athlete, Jill Knudsen! Whoop, whoop. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, in 7th position, Ali Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you in 6th position, Ali Nicholson. Oh yes, and Ali Nicholson still holds her top position on the Waterski Pro Tour Women's Standing, so give it up for her, please. In 5th place, Elizabeth Montavon. Who gets married in 41 days, so give her a big cheer. Ladies and gentlemen, your top 4. Paige Rainey. And ladies and gentlemen, working our way down to our top 3. The current world champion from Canada. Let's give it up, please, for Jamie Bowe. And here we go to our top 2. In 2nd place, Whitney McClintock-Reaney. With a score of 6 buoys on 10.75 meters. And ladies and gentlemen, with a score of half at 10.25 meters, your champion in her first appearance here at the Hilltop Pro, presented by Syndicate, it is none other than Regina Jaquez! All right, and I'm going to give the microphone to Regina Jaquez so she can have a quick word, and I've got something else for you.
Oh boy, I gotta kind of have no more hands. Okay, thank you guys. It's so cool to be out here, here at Hilltop. It's my first time. It's amazing, and y'all's support for being out here. It's just great. You know, a lot of times we go to pro events, and you guys are all on the webcast, but we don't have that much of a spectator. So thank you all out here for the last 2 days watching us and cheering for all of us. We really appreciate it, and can't wait to be back again next year. Thanks, guys.
And ladies and gentlemen, she gets a bonus presented by Mr. Silverman himself. Let's give it up for him, please. And ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you Jill Knutson, Ali Garcia, Ali Nicholson, Whitney McClintock, Jamie Bowe, Paige Rainey, Elizabeth Montavon, and your champion, Regina Jaquez. And, all right, Wade, you got something for us?
I do. I wanted to say a couple words of thanks first. Gordon Skoog wasn't even about to get up here and pass out the check, so getting him on the mic is going to be next to impossible. Same with his son, Matt, but thank you guys so much. You guys do so much at water skiing. So awesome. Thank you. Come on. And everybody's a star, man, Rodney, so he's got some special gifts.
So I teach middle school, and I'm in front of people all the time, so it's not a problem behind the mic. They usually take mics away from me. But I just want to thank Tony and his crew. Every year they come out here, they do these tournaments, they broadcast them. When we're not in town, we can't see him unless they do it. Last year I gave him $100 for his crew to buy some pizza. This year I was lucky at the casino, so I upped it a little bit, and so I got a whole packet for you guys. Each one of you guys have something in there for you, so congratulations and keep it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. All right, then. Okay, so as we continue to move in right along, as we go on to our next stage of the awards. Thank you, ladies. Hey, sticking around. Bit like Bob Seger here, turn the page. All right then, so we now go into our men's competition. Your top 8 starts off with a skier making his first pro final with half a buoy at 10.75. Let's give it up, please, for Stephen Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, with a score of 1.5 at 10.25 meters from Great Britain, it's Rob Hazelwood. Okay, folks, working away from Canada with a score of 2 at 10.25 meters. The newly engaged Stephen Nephew. All right then, folks, working our way down in 5th place, also with a score at 2 at 10.25 meters. He is also from Canada, and he is Cole McCormick. All right. Now, working away to our top 4. 4th place with 2.5 at 10.25 meters. It is Dane Meckler. And Dane Meckler is getting married himself fairly soon, so give him a big cheer. All right, so in 3rd place is your top 3 right now with 3.5 at 10.25 meters. He comes to us from the London Borough of Wandsworth, and his name is Freddie Winter. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now into the top 2, the runner-up spot. Coming to you from Great Britain, his name is Will Asher with 4 at 10.25 meters. All right then. Now, we're going to present the champion, but before we do that, we have something called the Skier of the Day. And the Skier of the Day, with 27%, is Will Asher. All right. And that means there is only one spot on the podium that is empty. The top spot, with a score of 1 at 9.75 meters, 43 off. your champion of the 2022 Hilltop Pro, presented by Syndicate, it goes to none other than Nate Smith. And before I present the microphone to Nate Smith, a quick reminder that all pros be present for a group photo shoot after we get done with the award presentations. So with that, let's give the mic over to Nate Smith, and what say you?
Thank you, Tony. I just want to thank Gordon and his whole crew here at Hilltop for always putting on. This is my second year here only, but you come in the gate and it's just an amazing site and so well kept, and it's just great conditions. We can come here and relax and ski and have fun. And I just want to thank all the sponsors that support us and allow us to be here. So, and of course, all of you guys that came out here to watch. Thank you.
Fantastic effort for our 8 skiers that made it through to the final. Stephen Ireland, Robert Hazelwood, Stephen Nevue, Cole McCormick, Dane Meckler, Freddie Winter, the runner-up Will Asher, and your champion Nate Smith. Let's give it up, please. And in addition to his regular prize, Nate Smith also gets a bonus check from Mr. Silverman himself. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The 2022 Hilltop Pro, presented by Syndicate. Well, we got best crash, haven't we? Who likes to hear the best crash? Do we have the results on that, or is it down to me? All right, it's down to me. Okay, best crash, Adam Caldwell. But he's not here. We'll send it on to him, I guess. All right, then, that represents the end. 2022 Hilltop Pro, presented by Syndicate. We thank all of the sponsors.
One last one. Can I get triplet up here right now? And Cole, please.
Okay, so we need Ali Nicholson and Brandon Triplett. Brenton Triplett. Ali Nicholson, come on up here. Is Brenton still here? I saw him. Yeah, there he is.
So, on behalf of Miles Sand and Gravel, Seattle Boat Company, and Boston Boat Lifts, we've got a special bonus for that helped with the amateur competition on Friday. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
My pleasure. And that should tell you that it pays to be an official. All right then, folks. I guess we're done. 2022 Hilltop Pro, presented by Syndicate. We thank all of you for watching here on site and also online. So, in my traditional outward greeting, I say, ciao for now.
For skiers and water enthusiasts, Florida lakes are what dreams are made of. Combined with world-class golf, remarkable weather, natural beauty, theme parks, and so much more, it's easy to see that Florida is paradise. For more than 30 years, I've enjoyed Florida's lakes and many offerings. If you are interested in Florida real estate, let me be your guide and trusted advisor as you search for your paradise. Together, we can make your dreams a reality.
Thanks for calling Wake House. This is Brian. How can I help you? Yeah, Will. Can I let him know who's calling? All right, just a second. Will, I got a fill for you.
Perfect. Give me just 1 second. All right, hit it. Thanks for holding. This is Will. Hey, how's it going? Good.